Yeah, hey, Lou, so I did that stuff out of the pond here, but when it, comes to, I can go over, I'm gonna have to cut back a lot of stuff.
I know I saw a tree that last storm fell in on,
Yeah,
but,
there's two,
the community code gives $5,000 to build like a little, like a shelter house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have the mud back.
Yeah, it will kind of look that way, but I don't wanna like build it and then there's some trees that have like some dead limbs, and like come tumbling down on top of it.
Well, like I said, I think, those trees real close to the side, I mean, they're all roots on one side.
Yeah.
And then eventually, no matter what, they're gonna fall in, I mean, I can say boom, but I mean,
Right.
they all fall. Yeah, just back of the way from there a little bit. That big bag of mud.
Yeah, I think Joel's gonna take.
Can I have some big bag of mud?
I don't even know how.
It's
Not
huge.
good.
I don't
He
know.
said when you're ready for it, you just cut it open and scoop it out.
Oh, yeah.
And then the bag gets like it's scratched, it's only a one-time use.
Is that a biodegradable bag, do you know?
I hope it is. That's the time,
Well, that's what I was saying, I was like, man, are we on the clock that we
I can
pay?
ask him, he didn't say anything
No,
about
I
it.
mean, I'll take that.
There's so much there, I think that you guys can both take it, we'll have so much we don't know what we're gonna do with.
I'm gonna tell it
We're
over.
gonna have
Mhm. That's just gonna go along. It's just like.
Deal with dump truck and haul it over.
the way I understand, it's kind of like the.
Bring it back before you might
It's like a full bag of
marshmallows.
Full bag.
and everything.
I don't know
I
how long
walked on
it's
it.
supposed to sit, he just said, they go all the
All the water was
Yeah,
seeping
and
out.
then it would be the sludge or
Well, when I called
whatever.
back.
I walked on it, it wasn't, I mean, it's just, there's a couple spots, and then toward the middle, that a little softer, yeah, the rest of it, it's solid.
They
Like,
said
it's
it's
not
pretty
wet
good for
sand.
like.
Nikki, how you feeling?
Garden.
Yeah.
Well, not too good today.
Not too good today, I'm sorry to hear that.
I'll be all
For
right.
like your-
Yeah.
Good days and bad days.
Heat don't help.
Hopefully there's more better ones to come your way.
I hope so. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. I'm gonna put my hair in.
I'm putting mine down.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I got AJ on there, but I did not believe he was here tonight, but he did leave you guys, his info, and then he explained everything to Jane there, and that's not really interesting.
Yeah, sorry about last Wednesday, I mean, I got off in time, and that's, he killed me, I just remembered that the meeting was over. All right, everybody left.
And, Lance said if we had to, we could write us a contract for cash car,
Okay,
do the dollar thing, and count roll up.
okay, I just talked to, AJ, yeah, just, let him know, you write it up, or you need them to write it up?
No, we write it. I mean, it's simple. It's no, I mean, we've done it for years, right? So we've done it a whole bunch of times. It's super simple for, the easiest explanations. We basically say we sell it to you for $1 with the stipulation that, if he leaves either voluntary or involuntarily, we sell it back to him for $1. And there's no encumbers on it, so that, like, it's not owed, it's a clear title, you know, I mean, all of those things you don't have to worry about, you know what I mean, like doing it with, incumbents on, nothing like that, so it's all squared on that. And then, of course, then it just falls under normal, like, policies and SOPs and all that stuff as well.
Sounds good to me.
You want me to write that up then, yes?
Hey, if you don't mind.
Yep, I'll get to it.
And, we'll just probably, sign that at the next meeting. On the
Okay.
20th.
Yep, I'll have it squared away by
I
then.
sent it to, well, the say it's just to cover, you know what I mean, he said just to cover.
Are we talking golf cars?
Yeah.
Did he find anything wrong with that white car?
What do you mean?
Other than the exhaust leak that he fixed, was there anything wrong with the, I called and asked him to take a look at it, it sounded like the wheel bearing or something was officially
John?
going out. Yeah, He said he was gonna jack it up
I
and
don't
mess
know,
with it.
it's pretty old. Let's see if he can fix it. We'll let him look at it.
Band-aid it up best you can, so.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do.
Keep it safe for everybody in the front and the back. I mean, it needs to be good
I'll,
though.
I'll
I mean,
ask him.
a
I haven't spoke with him since then, so I don't know, but I'll ask him.
Okay. Alright, yeah, I just don't wanna like patch together, I mean, if we need to fix it in a way or form, I mean, I'm gonna try to do that when we're putting people we don't know in the back seats, we got people driving it. I mean, the safest is the best, in my opinion.
On the insurance side of things, I think we're good to go. Renewals like July 22nd, so if you guys are good with what he presented, then we can
Yeah.
go ahead and you guys can vote, I guess, or whatever, and then we'll get that process. If you're not, he said there may be time for him to shop around between now and then if he needs to.
Yeah, went up,
It went up,
thousand.
How much?
from $51,291 to $60,057. It's on the, yep, open it there on the inside.
9,000.
And then he kind of discussed what changes he made on the policy.
What was the went to, Michelle?
I'm sorry,
What was the went to, Melissa?
it went to $60,057. Last year was $51,291.
Yeah.
Is that just due to all the claims and stuff, or?
Yeah, he said there was several claims in the last 2 or 3 years, and then, of course, I guess, a few new, vehicles and equipment on it.
Yeah, he said, reason why it went up almost 10,000, because of the new equipment, new truck, claims. And it might be cheaper, a little cheaper now since we're done contract with Chad. We'll figure it out. I'll call it
Yeah.
tomorrow.
We're still insuring.
Is that-
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Where you at? Well, I got it again, I can ask him. I'm sure that's just slang for something, the insurance company.
They cover 10,000 for animal floaters.
Floaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but
I'll hit it.
I guess it's probably been in here for a long time.
Yeah, I'm just intrigued with
Yeah.
what that
That
covers.
means,
Floats a long time.
That'd be big.
What do you guys think?
Man,
I'm good. That's also what an animal floater is.
I'll ask you in the morning.
oh, yeah, you're calling. I was gonna say.
I'll call him.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve Springer Insurance, for, $60,057.
I'll set it. All right, veterinary.
Second that, all in favor? Aye.
you wanna, when you call him, find out what the animal is, you want to let him know, you guys whether to approve it,
Yes.
and we're good to go, you can send me over whatever. you need to do.
Yeah, I'll call him. I'll talk to him in the morning. We can call him when. I'll be here. Got anything, Joel?
We had to hire a crew to give us a hand on that force main, and last weekend,
Along Mill Street?
yeah, because it was, this time when it blew out, it was close to the creek, and the creek was full, so they brought trench boxes and helped us out, and then we tossed around the idea of just boring a new line underneath the creek,
Yeah.
because that thing's blowing so often now that if it does blow into the creek, it
You don't
loses.
even have a weight probably. Wow.
And then we gotta try to get it bored as an emergency, which is harder to do and gonna be a lot more expensive. So we were wondering about just planing it and boring a new line. It don't have to be the whole street, 'cause God knows what that costs, but to get us on both sides where,
Well, I mean, if you're gonna shoot it though, I mean, if you're gonna shoot a board, I would shoot it past your problem area there a little bit. I mean, it's continuously breaking up that line as you go. I would get a quote just to shoot it under the creek, but I would also get one to shoot it up the hill a little bit, because, I mean, you're still gonna be out there digging, you're still gonna be blowing out right there. Might as well
The shell
just,
cost is like probably a lot of the cost, so, I mean, they're already there, I mean, it's gonna make your job a lot easier, I mean,
Yeah.
cost, I mean.
I'd do a good eyeball and maybe a little bit on the generous side and then not so much, and really, I mean, as much as that's blown apart in the last month and a half, I mean, I'd say we just get that replaced, and that might slow it down until we can get it fixed. And I'd probably, instead of putting it in with a 4-inch, I'd probably go ahead and tee off or upgrade with a 6-inch.
Yeah, if you get out of that low lying area, I mean, just in case it happens when it's flooding down there, I mean, that way it'd be safer, I mean.
That shouldn't affect the pumps or anything down there, will it? Upgrade that from 4 to 6, through under the creek and everything? It shouldn't,
It's not
but,
real restricted.
It'll take less pressure.
Right.
Your time, yeah, your time, your back.
I mean, I would definitely do it 6-inch. I mean, we've got to upgrade that line eventually, no matter what, so you might as well, instead of painting it again, I mean, we might as well go with at least 6-inch. I don't know what the, and
Or somebody swimming in the creek.
I don't know if they dig it deep, or if they shoot it deep enough. I imagine it probably,
Well, how's it ran now?
they bored it somehow.
I mean, I assume it's underneath that creek. That or it's strapped up underneath the bridge.
I think it's too deep for that. Kinda goes
Well,
underneath
you
there.
found that one out there on 41 was above the creek.
They literally just laid it across the
Yeah, they
creek.
went across top of it.
Yeah, that wouldn't hold down there very long, first rain.
No.
That's what happened to this one, was a tree branch come down through the creek, ripped it out. I don't know how long it's been that way, but it was a little trouble trying to find it.
Yeah, we go ahead and put together a job scope on that, kind of a roundabout plan, plan-wise, so.
Yeah, we get out of that area, clearly,
With this bore line under the creek.
Yeah, make sure it's getting away from the creek too, so that whenever you're ready to pick it up again.
Yeah.
That's Mill Street.
bottom of Mill Street.
At the lift station.
Past Lois's Lane,
Is it on the, what side of the creek?
this side, our side.
East side.
South
Well,
Well, it'd be the
it goes
west
east
side.
to west.
So you're gonna bore under the creek and replace that main?
Yeah,
Put
yeah.
Upside design of the plan.
Yeah, I would upsize it, and then I would shoot it just a little, there's a great big section there if you drive down Mill Street where we were just destroying that road.
Right.
And I say we shoot it past that just a little bit,
Yeah.
so that we can get out of that problem area.
Well, yeah.
And we open the bids for the board, on Mill Street on 7/28, so they'll not be able to do them all at the same time.
Actually, that's on the 20th, I think, so you're gonna know the bore on Mill Street on June, July 20th.
20th.
Yeah. You'll open the bids for that meeting.
Yeah.
I think you could work with the engineer and see what,
Yeah.
have to take a look at that, what it's gonna be when they start down here. and see what they
Yeah,
can do.
'cause if they're already here, I mean.
Yeah, they're going to be or the equipment.
Equipment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But that needs to be done before the water line though.
Yeah, it's
Well,
right.
they
says it
can-
up.
they can probably-
Cost and stuff.
Well, they'll start that water line probably next month.
I was in Almy, I run some trains there, and, they, bore a ton of their water lines. And, I mean, it was actually quite impressive, the little amount of damage that they did.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, each yard had a little square where they dug it out and tapped it into their, water, meter. And, then the hydrants were a little bit bigger areas where they brought the valves up and everything.
Yeah.
But it was honestly impressive
Oh, yeah.
how far they actually went with their bores.
They did, they go to town wheat, about 3 years ago, they did the entire town wheat. They bought trucks for $4.
Really?
Yeah, you can't even tell them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they never receded. But, alright, yeah, I would get some quotes, and, then we can also refer to whoever's coming as well and see what they'll hit us with.
Alright, and already ordered the valves and check valves for that lift station, because they're both shot. That's,
We're gonna change it.
I think that's why the problem is coming like just nonstop. It's cause them check valves aren't closing back when they shut off, so it's all draining back in. And
The
then
check
the first
valves
one
like in
kicks
the
on
system?
and it's just circulating until it gets so full that the second pump kicks on.
Yeah,
And
and then it's getting rainwater, a lot of rainwater, I mean, it's under a lot of stress.
The check valves haven't been replaced?
not that one. I ordered them, but they probably don't know how long it's gonna take to get them.
Those were bad when fluid waste came in a year and a half ago.
Like I said, I mean, anything that's out of date, or, I mean, we're gonna go ahead and do this, I mean, like I said, I mean, you already got the ground open and you're doing it, I mean, to replace anything in question, I mean,
Yeah, the check valves were bad a year ago, at least.
it'd be silly to cover up anything that we weren't sure about, and.
So, speaking of expenses, Melissa gave us the fund report for last week, and then, I had her send the fund report for the water for the month of May, and she appreciates she did that for me. I got copies for everybody. And I'm glad Jill was here because we spent, month of May, we spent over $100,000 out of water operating, and I thought that was very alarming. I assume then that's probably about what the pace we did in June too, I assume, right?
I think June was more.
Okay, we're eclipsing over 100,000 a month, and I wanna get to the bottom, we need to get a handle on this. So I looked at the fund report for the month of June, or the month of May, and we spent with utility supply $42,217.45 for the entire month. We did one purchase alone was $41,086.80. And you know what that's for? What did we buy?
One purchase.
Yeah. It's all paid out of the water utility.
What month was it?
The check was written in, 26th of May, so I assume it was probably.
Probably would've been April.
Then whenever you guys started on that Flint Street job, or about April?
Probably.
Well, we already had all the material for that, except for the, like the stormwater stuff that we're replacing as we go too, but that, we didn't even get through, utility supply. So,
They're not sending itemized list.
Yeah, I get, but nobody, I mean, you didn't ask me, sorry, I would've gone.
Well, no.
I didn't know you were bringing that up, so.
Right, no, I mainly just wanted to just bring this up.
They actually emailed me, so I could actually, or if there's a specific, or a group of invoices, I could forward them all to you guys, I guess we can do that.
Yeah, is that when you bought the meters and stuff that they had at discount rate?
no, that would have been end of May, beginning of June.
So that's probably, I just paid a bunch yesterday, so I'm probably there, but you'll also see for this month, there's like a yearly subscription or something, contract that we pay for them, a year or two. Well,
How much is it?
I wanna say like 8,000, that's not right.
To have a contract with them to buy stuff off of them?
I think so, some sort of contract, I don't know, let's see if I can pull it up on my email.
Sound like the phone companies when they
I don't know,
charge you.
I don't know that an $8,000
Cause I remember
subscription.
last year, I made them send me an actual invoice of it, cause they just had it on the statement, I was like, no, I was like, state board of accounts, I have to have an invoice.
That, and I mean, I just wouldn't know where we get for $8,000. And we got stuff up to the front, I mean. Bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I think it.
That's what's one of us want to bring this up.
No, yeah, I mean,
No,
I don't think that.
We're going through a lot of money.
No, we are spending money like we think we should, but I mean, well, we need to
Now,
look
was
at
that
what
one
we're
check
getting.
with multiple invoices, or was that just a solid one
Well,
invoice?
it's probably multiple.
Yeah, I
invoices.
listed it on there, so it'll have, if there's multiple invoices, it'll have the number on there. I always break it down, that way I always know what I paid.
She
Don't
definitely
double
just
pay.
writes with a check, but she,
Right.
it'd be multiple invoices.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We got a lot of big projects
I don't think I'd be right.
going on, but I mean.
Individual check for each invoice.
No.
I did that my first month for,
Is that when you guys
energy.
did,
Yeah.
That was done.
order the new, water pumps and stuff?
Long list and all, what's she doing now?
That
She wants to
3
get that with her booth.
No.
Well, we all have to order, don't we?
It's only.
I don't know.
Like I said,
We can pull
if
that
it's more than one
invoice.
We
invoice,
do
I
some
mean,
silly things when we
it's
first start.
It's 41,000, I remember one.
Okay, here's their statement, so, maintenance contract is what it's called. It's for $3,800 a year.
Who's it to?
Utility supply company.
That might be for, that may be for the meters. That might be for those meters, those electronic.
I noticed it last year, I don't remember, it may have been a year before, but I
Is
don't
that where we
remember
like send them to
previous
them
years, but I
and
know
they
we
fix
paid
it
the
or
last two.
I'm gonna call mine and find out what's going on.
And probably, yeah, I'd say Jay's right, probably to do with the meters, because he was telling me the other day, and that he can have the Neptune guys come in. And he said, we already pay for it, they can do training at any point, they'd be glad to. So I'm guessing that's what that is basically for Neptune,
So you
we're just
said-
going through utility to use Neptune. So that's
Okay,
probably-
Yeah, because they're interfaced with, I mean, they're not making money. So it's around 3,800 and what's it?
Yeah, it's 3,800, exactly.
Yearly?
Okay,
Yes.
okay, I'm gonna question
And we
Brian.
get billed out like every July.
Okay, I imagine that's what they.
I don't see a 40, any invoices up in the 40s. Did you say it's one invoice 40 or
Well,
multiple?
no, it's just that one check was written,
Okay.
utility supply, so I imagine you just got multiple
Yeah.
invoices.
I say most of
Come
the
up to
invoices that come, could be anywhere from 200 all the way up to.
Yeah, I think
Seven-
they,
seventy-five.
you know,
one item that.
Irregardless, that's a bunch of money, and I wanna know what we bought, I wanna know why we bought it. And here's my other added to this, I think from this point going forward, until we get a handle on this, any more expenses at all need to run through either a couple of council members and then find out what it is before we order any more than anything. That's my feeling on
Well,
this.
yeah, I think we should see what,
I'm not
what
pointing
it was
fingers.
spent on first, I mean, it may.
Well,
be a-
but this is 2 months in a row, so, I mean, I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah, I
through,
mean-
so we need to get a handle on this.
Yeah, we
tonight.
definitely need to do our part.
So,
and
and
look
I'm
into
not
it.
blaming the employees, I'm not here to throw anybody under the bus, I'm just here speaking a matter of fact, that we're going through a bunch of money, and I don't know why.
Can I get the invoices and have a better answer for you on the 20th?
Well, we're gonna have to go back, you need to get them for
I'll just get them for the
July,
year.
you need to get them for June, and you need to get them for,
May, April.
I'd say April, but we got, get them for April, May, June.
Are they on a
Can I get that, can you email those?
Yeah.
to me?
You can, is it okay if I just include all 4 of you?
I think you're doing great, Alex, if you do
I'd
that.
like
So you want
Yeah.
April through like today?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's great.
utility supply,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not everything.
Most places like that's got a 90-day turn.
Then,
They usually send me a statement at the beginning of every month, and then we'll have the bills from whatever is due current. You said April through current day
Yeah.
utility supply.
That'd be great. We were on this, I mean, I think we need to put a freeze on what's been bought until, I know they gotta have stuff, but I think they should go through, and it don't have to be me, I just think it should be 2 council members, we need to decide tonight who they wanna be. And then Joel or Sean needs to reach out before they buy anything, so we can be clear before we buy anything. That's, again, it's just.
I think we gotta put a limit on, we can't, they have to call us every
We're
time they need
45,000 in the hole. I think.
that, we need something, I mean, that.
We were 12,000 last month, now we're 45,000.
Yeah,
We wanna be giving people, we're gonna be throwing a rate increase on
We
everybody,
gotta-
we better get a handle on what we're doing. We're promoting a 5% rate increase, I'm gonna tell you right now, that 5% is not gonna touch this. I'm contemplating on thinking now we ought to just throw the whole 15 in and not phase in 5% a year. Because we gotta get a handle on this.
Is your rate increase also taking into account the 100,000 that you guys borrowed from,
We talked with Baker Tilly with that, I think that what we wanna do is just basically, is our money,
okay.
it is,
Scratch it.
well, see, part of that too, and that's nothing against you, cause you just didn't know.
Yeah.
But taking, some of it should've just been paid out of depreciation anyway, and it's being paid out of operating, and then we still got a few thousand yet that needs to be really transferred out of the depreciation back into the water operating that should have been paid out of depreciation. But, getting back to this, though, this is serious stuff, and the payroll, I didn't realize we were paying out, I guess it should have, cause we get the payroll claim docket every month, that we're going through the month of May, we're spending out 35,585.64 just for the month of May in payroll. That's, we're clipping 400 grand a year. Now, we can't
But
afford that.
we paid out $9,000 in one day with a contractor. mean, I'm just saying, that.
Well, nine, but I'm just saying.
Yeah,
if
but you're
look-
doing both, like, it'd be one thing if you're just paying the contractor and not employing, you know what I mean, like,
See, we're not even talking, we're not even talking.
No, yeah.
This is just strict salaries, we're not talking and again, I'm just bringing out what I'm seeing. I'm not faulting anybody, I'm not putting a finger on anybody, I'm just bringing out, we're blowing through a bunch of money.
I mean, we don't know that, we know that there's a big number out there, but we have no idea what's.
Well, on your payroll, I definitely know what it is, cause they just.
But that's scary, that's what you guys are up there to do, is, so we've got, so we've got 100, wait, I just wanna make sure I'm understanding real quick, because I haven't even heard this. We are missing 100, not missing,
No, it's been spent.
$100,000 has been spent in 2 months in a row, and I've got 4 men sitting up there and they have no idea, and you guys are the ones in charge here?
Exactly.
Yep.
That's
That's a huge problem.
That's what I'm not down.
If the public hears this, that's a huge problem.
Well, they're going to, it's.
Be careful.
No,
Hey, I know.
I mean, that's scary. My rates are gonna go up.
Oh, yeah.
I know he won't say anything, he never does.
And if they even get a whiff, trust me, I know.
You've been there.
I've been there, done this.
I think you four need to figure
They
out where this
will
money's
be
going. Have an answer.
Calling you till you can't get any
Yep.
sleep.
I think it'd be
Or any
great.
Especially with social
What was
media the way
it,
it is
do you
now.
have a close average what it was before?
for what?
For like utility supply, like what
For,
were the months before?
like last year at that
Does it just
time,
vary up and down, up and down?
yeah. She probably could get it.
I mean, I could print out like a vendor history
Right.
report of like.
A
the last
comparison.
2 years.
Is that a headache?
I think that's, we need to see what it is.
I
But
will
mean,
say,
there could be a very logical explanation. I
if
mean,
you were to do that
for what
with
it is,
payroll,
and it's like,
you
oh,
would see that
yeah.
you're paying like a ton.
I think it's
more
too early
payroll now than
to
we do,
jump.
because you've got more employees, they're getting paid more, you're also adding on the extra, it used to get 2 hours for on-call days, only get 1, which I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but that adds up, because it's 1 employee on-call every single week, you know what I mean, so that's what, 7, 14, you're looking at like 60 extra hours a month, you know what I mean, like, just little stuff like that doesn't seem.
We've had it all. They gotta do what they've done before, plus this project now. I mean, that's what explains the more hours. I mean, if we didn't have a big project going on,
Right, but
then
in
they were just doing their regular stuff.
Right,
you
but
know,
in
they're
government,
doing two-
in government, you have a budget.
No, I understand
So
what
you
you're
still have to,
saying.
you know what I mean, like, so you either gotta figure out, okay, if this is my budget, and I can't pay that budget, then these guys, instead of working 80 hours a week, but they gotta work their 40 and go home early. Or, you know what I mean, you gotta have to give and take a little bit, you
No,
can't,
I understand that. I mean,
or you run out of money,
Or you're like a railroad and just write checks.
yeah.
the book budget's gonna stack
Yeah.
up.
Well, the railroad was good at it too, so.
But,
I have
I
a
mean,
question.
Melissa's just making a good legitimate
No,
point. Again, it's not again, I'm not faulting,
No.
I'm not pointing a finger at anybody, it's just, I'm just looking at, I guess that's a clerk treasurer me also, you know, I'm looking at these numbers and we can't sustain what we're doing here unless we raise the rates. And I'm gonna sit here right now and tell you, I am not gonna be approving or voting for a lousy, way above than what we can, I mean, we're just, we gotta get a handle on that, that's why I wanted to bring this up.
Something else to keep in mind, if you look at the numbers over the past 2 years and they're dropping as far as like spending is going up and so the money in the bank is going down. Eventually, if we get to a point to where we don't have enough money to operate, then we're in a situation where Indiana Water comes in and says, hey, you guys are bankrupt, you don't have enough money, I'm taking over, you know, or the government could come in and step in. So we wanna be careful there as well.
I think it's, I mean, I understand the sense, but we need to see where the money's going. I mean, we know it's going, but we need to know where, you know, I mean, and then work around that, I mean, cause I mean, right now, we don't know anything, I mean, other than money being paid out.
Right, but the last few months I have explained in the minutes, like, we're overpaying in payroll, we gotta figure that. It's like a sinking ship and you're just putting Band-Aids
I
on
mean, we
it.
can limit their hours. but
Putting your
I don't
hole
think-
in
No, I'm not
I
saying
mean,
that,
I'm
we gotta figure
saying
out
that
how
won't
we
solve.
No, I'm not saying that either, I just wanted to bring to everybody's
No,
attention what's
I
going on.
think it's important if we got more money going out than we've got coming in.
Well,
So,
here's
I
another
mean,
question.
With no real explanation.
That I can ask Melissa here is, I talked this over with, Jared Campbell, with think the month of May, maybe the month of April, month of May, that, our revenue dropped over 10 grand, the water operating, like from 70 down to 60. Do you have any, he was asking me,
That'd
what's
probably be a
going
Liz
on?
question, cause I don't, you know what I mean, like, I just get the numbers that she gives me, I don't.
Right.
So people
I
using
don't
this
ask questions
water.
on my
I,
water list.
you know, I don't know, but we dropped 10 grand in 2 months.
As
10
far as
grand a
water,
month.
no, I mean, the only thing I can think of is in town, we've dropped, because we don't have library rent, we don't have Thompson Station rent.
Well, I'm talking water.
Right, that's what I'm saying,
water
but that's
bill.
what I'm saying, like, I don't,
Yeah.
on water, that would be a Liz question on, you know what I mean, like, if, I could have her, I'm sure there's a report
Yes,
maybe that,
yes. See if she could run a revenue.
no, I
revenue.
can run on my side, because
Yeah,
when she gives me, at the end of every month, she gives me what we make in invoice out of what we make in the office, and then I obviously put it in the
Yeah.
system. I can get you that report, if that
Well,
will.
I
It
know, a
might
lot of
help.
people are digging wells right now.
there's something, we've got, it sounds like it's 2 or 3 customers and larger customers that use water on our system that's
Yeah.
cutting back or something. It just sounds like kinda like we lost DeVita, the
Right,
dialysis center, they just quit, or the convalescent centers, like they just quit paying their bill. I know that's not the case.
I will say-
1/7 of the money coming in, that's a big.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you know, you're not.
I will-
If we're falling 10 grand a month, and that's over $120,000 in a year now, we need to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I mean.
I will say that I don't think, don't quote me on this, I don't think we have turned anyone off for a very long time, or gave any kind of like, hey, you gotta pay if you don't. So eventually people learn, like, oh, if I don't pay my bill, then I have to do anything. So that's probably something that like needs to be addressed as well.
Sorry, I had a discussion about that, and because I had to do that when I went into office, and I did not like it.
No,
But I had to go in front of Judge Johnson, and
Yeah.
I know he's not there no more, but
no,
I,
he
and
took a
I,
vacation.
I had to physically do that, because we had thousands, and I mean thousands of dollars that no one was paying. And he told me, he said, Kathy, as long as they're paying $5 a month, there's nothing you can do. I said, but they're still paying $5 a month.
Do we have an amount that's delinquent, like, do we know? Like, is there
Liz
something that,
told
like,
me that-
Liz or something can push a button and
Liz,
go,
I'm
hey?
sure Liz can probably print
Yeah,
some report
she's-
that can do that, yeah.
Well, here's the thing, she's charged to collect the money. Now, she either starts charging and getting this money caught back up, or we look for a new billing collection clerk. I hate being frank, but we're losing money, and we're losing money. Now Melissa's telling me that we're not enforcing to collect the money, and it's going, and we're gonna ask these people that are paying their fair share to pay more for these people that aren't collecting. The 4 of us aren't doing our job, I'm sorry. But this is news to me, that I didn't know, just the fact, that may be part of the problem, that may be that's gotta be part of the problem when we're dropping 10 grand a month.
Well, I mean, like I said, we should definitely look into it. I mean, I know that we're losing the money, but before we go point the finger to
Right.
whatever, I
I'm
think.
not pointing
No, I'm
fingers
just
at
saying,
anything,
I
I'm just
mean,
saying, bringing this up for
We know,
discussion,
all we
need to
know is
find out.
that the money's not coming in, we need to figure out
Right.
where and why, and, you know, before we.
But we don't have very much time to figure.
No,
out.
I mean,
Or you jump off the cliff, huh?
Right,
I have a question.
go ahead.
Yours said you're overspent. Who approves their purchases?
Normally,
Unless it's over $5,000.
fine,
So do they do purchase orders?
we haven't ever done those.
We just have like accounts at places that they use, like vendors, and so then they go in and buy what they need, and then those come across my desk, and then they either come here if it's something that's like abnormal, like a company we've never used, or something that they didn't vote on, and it comes here to be like, I have a stack today, or otherwise it just gets paid.
So they can just go in and get whatever they want.
For the most part, yeah.
town.
It's-
Once it's over 5,000.
We've been doing that. I mean,
Is that a day?
all year.
So is that what's this 5,000? Is that a day? So if I wanted to do a 40,000, and I'm not blaming you at all here. If I want to do a $40,000 project, can I go in and do 8 days of 5,000? Okay, so this is per
There's not
day,
actually a
per
limit. There's
project?
no-
What's
there's no
this
policy. Like,
5,000?
5,000, you're just saying it's just a number, like there's no, you know what I mean, like. Right, right, but I'm just saying, there's nothing
It's not
tenable finally
before,
stopped
but it's been
them from-
abided by,
Yeah,
that I know of.
yeah.
I understand that we have to account for where all this money goes. At the same time, there's certain things that you have to have that,
Right.
the job's not gonna get done unless you have it. I mean,
But I think you four should know where it's at.
And that's-
yeah,
that's-
we know, yeah, I mean, we know,
need to get
but
handled.
you can't handcuff them to the point where
I agree,
they have to call for,
I agree. totally agree.
I'm just talking on basically
No,
buying things from utility, I mean, we gotta find out why we blew for, I mean, we're not
Well, we
willing,
just need to find out
$41,000
what it is,
in 1
yeah.
month is a lot of money here. So,
Another thing
I
on
wanna
here
know.
too, you only see it once because it was broke up in different months, but the Marlowe and Sons people, we've had 3 big invoices from them, like one was for 5,300, one was for 7 something. and
Yeah.
one was
But
for
see,
10.
it's things like that, we need to have Joel come to us, not in, it hadn't had been a meetings.
Which I think one of them
necessarily.
was an emergency type thing, like.
Yeah.
All three of them were.
He called you
yeah,
on that.
we don't call people up.
And again, I'm not singling out any employee, I'm just saying, we just need to know, we need to get a handle on this spending. And that's all I'm saying, I mean, we can't keep.
I understand that.
I have another question, sorry.
Go ahead.
So if you're having that issue with the water, are you having that issue with the sewer too?
Actually,
And the wastewater? I mean, it's
the wastewater seems to be doing better than it had about 6 months ago.
They, in October, they put, was a 100,000 from wastewater depreciation into it, cause it was it was like -50 in October of last year. To try to like bump it back
Just
up.
bump it back up. We had a rate study done recently. But that rate study wasn't based on $100-some thousand a year or a month being spent,
Yes, sir.
especially out of utility supply. And they added in the extra employee and factored that in, but I'm just not comfortable with this.
That's a big. What is our annual average? I mean, per month?
It's surpassed that by a
Yeah,
while.
yeah, I mean,
Our gross receipts in the water is around 700,000 a year. We're over that. I mean, we're pacing over that. Just in salaries now, you're looking at over 300, 325, 350 salaries. So you're
25,
We used to try to
about
keep,
45, 47
is on salaries.
on average, a month.
we used to try to keep 150,000 in water operating and sewer operating. And at the beginning of this year, your water was at 46,000 and your sewer was at 51,000. So like, you know what I mean, like you already started off the year, because of the spending from the previous year, you already started off the year.
Yeah,
and just-
you're in the hole, you're
Yeah,
trying to dig
right,
out already.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So, in other words, we're like double what our
Right,
average,
exactly.
average is. Okay, I mean, that's what I'm just
That's
trying
on
to.
that budget for it.
So that's what I'm saying, we need to figure out where this money's going. And then definitely why we dropped 10,000 a
Yeah,
month in
absolutely.
revenue. So Alex said he would take a look at that.
I can cross-reference it with
Yeah,
Joel
I'm-
and stuff.
Cross-reference with Joel, and then the information
I'm really
that
good numbers, so.
Melissa gives you with utility for the last 3 months. Think you can put all that together when we have a meeting in
The 20.
20th, and if that's too soon, we can push it to the 28th when we had the meeting for a contract.
What type of report do you want? You mentioned getting, you want totals for each month coming in and on income for water, sewer, and storm? And then how far back do you want that? Just Jan, or do you want like
Why don't we just go
months?
back to January?
So this 140-something of it is basically almost the difference in our average, I mean, close to.
That's all it built up.
Melissa, does your report show who's in arrears and how much it
Does
is?
it show what? I'm sorry.
Does it show the arrears?
It can.
I did, ours did, so.
Again, the thing is with Melissa, she's probably spent like I did, 5% utility billing and elections, she relies on, that's how I, the way she explained it to me, that's what
I mean, all I get is numbers.
She gets
You know what I mean? Like, I don't
the report at the end of the
actually
month.
see
See,
money.
and that's what's, that's really confused me since I came back, because I did it all.
Yeah.
Right,
So I,
Yeah, better
so if my eyes seen something, I was like, ooh.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
So,
she's just getting on the inside of what.
right, well, you, exactly. But that doesn't mean that, I'm not like you, I'm not pushing nobody,
Right.
but,
Right.
yeah, pushing. I always knew what the rear
Yeah, 'cause you
were.
did it.
Yeah.
I just, we definitely.
Yeah, I don't know who pays bills, who doesn't, you know what I mean, like, I don't see it, unless I go ask, I don't see that stuff.
It isn't very hard to be able to pull out like, all of their receipts,
No, cause utility supply, oh wait, receipts or invoices?
yes.
Invoices.
Yes.
Yeah, utility supply emails me, so like literally the second they sign off on whatever they're buying, it automatically sends me an invoice, just like Medley's.
Medley's does that too?
Yep, several of them do that.
Okay, alright, I got a question then, can I have Menards,
Yep.
Medley's, utility supply, and then,
Menards, Medley, utility supply.
which one we doing? Oh, and then, wholesale drainage. Can I have the breakdowns for them on the
Yes,
same?
everyone sends, except for Menards does not, but I can go back through, are you wanting April through now? I can just go back and pull what I.
Yeah, that's
So
fine.
what category would be like,
Because those are our biggest ones that the employees use, and then I can say like, this is what we got, this is what the employees are spending on, then we can go through, once I get done with this, then we can go through,
And they can also.
payroll and see what we can do
If
about that.
it helps you guys in the future, we've never done this, but they can do this, like when, let's say Joel goes to buy something at utility supply and it's for a specific project, he can have it put that on the invoice, so that when I get it, then I can list that in my side, so that if you say, hey Melissa, what did they spend at utility supply for Mill Street project? Then I have it, you know what I mean, because right now it's just, this is what they've spent there, like it doesn't tell us what it's for, so.
We almost need to get a, sort of kinda like a PO system set up of some
Well,
sort.
that's pretty much what it is, like,
Okay,
they
okay,
would
so
say, so he would say whatever, so like, I'll use HWC, so HWC does that, so I can get like 3 invoices from them a month. One is for your Mill Street project, one is for your CCNG, one is for your ADA, and but they invoice them specifically with those names, so that when I pay them, one, I know where I'm paying them from, but two, then we know what we're spending on each project separately and not all smashed together.
Yeah, so we can just project one or project two, don't need to do more than 2 projects, and then random stuff, and we can come through and make an itemized list of what things are. And that way we know when we're, because we use,
No.
wholesale and utility supply, we use them for sewer, water, stormwater, everything gets utilized out of all of them.
I'd say Medley's is kinda like that too, 'cause it's just like
Yeah.
random tools and things,
Yeah.
so it kind of covers everything, not just one.
Yeah, a lot of the tools there should probably go to all 3, cause you utilize all 3, but, yeah, if I can get those 4, then I can really sit down, and I can sit down and go, we can go through this, and we do it month by month and kinda see,
And
because
then-
Menards is more of like to my understanding, I mean, a quick tool, like a smaller tool, and or Gatorade, toilet paper, things like that.
And
That's what
then
they do all
report
that.
wise, you want me to see a list and print out some sort of a report to show like late fees or what do you want there? So what's our timeline now, that you wanna see Jan through now, April through now?
Probably Jan.
So Jan until, we'll just say Jan until July 1, is that okay?
Yeah.
And then you just wanna see anybody who owes over a certain amount, or just anybody who's,
I think you can do an age one, where we can go back.
So how
90
old they
days.
are?
Yeah, see how long.
so age 30, age 60?
I'd say
90 days, okay, so anything over 90 days.
And no, do you still, when I was the clerk treasurer, I had to have council write up a ordinance or pass a, something that says it was okay for me to go stand in front of the judge for the town.
No, we used to do small claims and things
Okay.
like that, but that got so cumbersome and it basically said, you go find it and we might try to.
Oh, really?
I'd get the judgment, but then I'd have to do that proceeding supplemental.
What about collection agency?
Uh,
We just
No.
pay them a percentage of it.
Yeah, but that's even more, I never had that problem,
Well,
but that, you
hopefully
know.
we're gonna get a handle on this, so we don't.
Well, I don't know, her and I were just talking, so I'm not trying to say nothing bad. Okay?
I'm just saying,
Don't make her mad at me.
I don't care whether it makes it bad to me or not. She's got a job to do, and I'm not afraid to say it. We gotta collect this money, just bottom line. We gotta either have a shovel, it's just that simple.
And that's what we did,
Yeah, we've had a
had
pretty good
to.
handle on this for a while.
but I don't like doing that, I didn't like doing
Well, I
that.
don't wanna shut somebody off either, but
I know.
I don't wanna be paying, subsidizing, and asking, I'm sitting here in this council and asking other people, we're gonna raise your water rates, cause we're too lazy to enforce our water shut off ordinance. I'm gonna do it,
Do you have a water shut off?
absolutely.
Okay.
It's so stringent, after 27 days, it shut off,
Oh, I do.
supposed to be.
I don't know. I don't know, I haven't
Now,
seen any.
that's why I wanna find out how
paperwork.
far these 27 days, how long are we going with some of these customers that we haven't shut them off, I wanna know why. That's simple, I don't know how to, simpler to get it. So if you can get all that, Melissa, not throwing a lot of
On the
money.
meeting on the 20th.
Okay. Okay, I wanna ask, we're, this Glen Street water line, the reason I'm asking this is because, HWC, we approved this contract tonight, to do come in and do the community crossings for next year for 2027. They'll have to do all the paperwork and everything, that's gonna have to be filed by September 30th. My question is, we're gonna have this line done in time? 'Cause
Oh,
that's
yeah,
gonna be
Glen
one of the
Street?
longer- Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no,
I don't wanna be throwing
yeah,
it
no,
out
we,
there and then
we
gotta
slowed
take
it
it
down,
off.
as soon as a lot of the payroll stuff jumped up, we slowed down, and we're also, I mean, we've gotta work, all these lines blowing out, this force mains and stuff, so they're working amplitude anyway, outside of that, so that's a when they can kind of thing right now. Now, whenever, if it comes closer to time and we need to do a push, we will, but, I mean, at this point in time, it's kind of just a slowed down, let's really focus on the things that are blowing apart in the town of Shelburne. But
Is there a way that we can put like 2 crews and have 1 crew fixing that and the other crew put it out to the, just asking, going back to the water line?
Well, we got it.
Got 4 of them, huh?
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I mean, I can have it going, I mean, yeah, they, just recently, like, I don't know how many water taps and stuff they've done here recently, but I know that they've been like super busy. But as long as the operator's available, I mean, we can try to push that.
I was just asking, because, you know, this will come up fairly quick, and.
Yeah, no, it
and
will
I
come up,
Scott
I agree.
Krieger about it, if we're gonna put it on the inventory, I just wanna make sure it's done.
Yeah, no, I can make sure it's done.
Cause I'd hate to put it on the inventory, that we get the money based on this street, and then we gotta take it off, you know.
Well, let me sit down with Joel and actually come up with a plan, see what he's actually got going on within the town, because I know that we've got a bunch of stuff piled in that they're trying to go through and fix continuously right now. And then we'll go from there, and, I'll get a plan put together, and then, if I can implement it before the 20th, or if not, but, yeah, I can work with the foreman and get something.
Okay, and then, I'd kinda like, I'm going about here, I'd kinda like to maybe sand stuff, we don't get.
That is Verizon, that's what you're saying, not just me. This is
That work with you, Joel? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's like the total and everything. So Verizon is what, cell phone, internet,
It'll be a lifetime.
I'd like to, I would like to, since we're gonna have that bid, awarded contract on the 28th at 10, I was gonna see if maybe we could open that up to where, and re-advertise it or whatever, and just put it like pretty much an open agenda, that anything else comes across, we can get decided on, because if some of this bleeds over, I wanna make sure that we can get, just a lot of stuff I wanna get taken care of this month.
So instead of a special meeting, we'll just like a regular meeting?
Yeah.
When is this?
On the 28th.
Oh, okay.
That will definitely.
I heard the 10 part, and I was like,
Yeah, well,
I was like,
Is everybody good to be here that day?
Yes.
What day?
28th at 10 a.m.
I think you probably.
What day is it on?
It's
It's a Tuesday.
Tuesday? Yep, I can be here.
Awesome, okay. Yeah, I wanted to get that.
Alright, 28th.
And it'll be here,
And probably,
Run community building.
I'm sorry?
Community building.
Community building.
Okay.
oh, there's something about this size of a room would be awesome to have our meetings on a regular.
Oh,
People can hear.
And if you had a lot of people here too,
No echo.
that'd be great too, that people would come and listen to what you guys were talking
I'd rather have it here, nobody shows up.
No one wants to walk.
But are you though?
Yeah. So, if you, I wanna give you an update. I reached out to 2 contractors about a water tower in here and spending money that we may not have. And this is something that doesn't have to happen this year, but I went and I contacted 2 water, tower inspection companies to get some quotes on, get 2 separate quotes, what it costs to have the tank drained and inspected. Doesn't have to be done this year, but I think you need to seriously be looking because
Has it been 5, 6 years?
it's been over 5. It's been over 5. So I'll have those contracts or quotes, no contracts, so just quotes. And I'll have them probably at that 28 meeting. You don't have to act on it, maybe too much, but my past experience is you don't want a tank contractor going up there, a paint contractor to tell you what's wrong with the tank. Because they're gonna throw things in there that's not wrong with it, off the price. You want an actual company to come and inspect that tank. There may not be anything wrong with it.
One thing I'm not gonna go look at.
Well, me and you both.
Yeah.
So you wanna rely on a separate contractor that will tell you what's wrong with it. If we find something wrong with it, they do, then we can put that out for bid, like we're building a brand new tank and say, all right, this is what we want done. They do it, then our tank company we hire goes back and inspects it, make sure we did it right. If they don't, they'll get the money till they fix it. That's simple. But you got a 500,000 gallon piece of steel up in the air, and if that thing falls down, you're not gonna, when we bought it, we paid $560,000 for it.
You ain't gonna touch that.
You're not gonna touch it even for $80. So, it's just money well spent to protect it, that's all I'm saying.
That'll be $2 million.
Exactly.
I married with the bond, just, so, it's crazy.
What, on the tower, how old it is?
No, High Marriage is like, they're getting ready to
Oh.
put a new tower up, and I can't remember, it was on Facebook, but it was like, originally the project was like 2 million, and now it's like 7 million or something.
Oh, it's down
So it's
there.
about like a water line replacement down the highway.
Now,
Bid it 3 and it went up to 10.
moving on, property cleanup approval for quotes. Matt got me, I haven't, thank you for the email, I just haven't looked at it yet.
Okay, I was like, I totally sent you that list.
Okay, you did, I got it.
I thought you were about to say no, I'm like, I totally.
Matt got me what I was asking for, and a lot of it, some of it's down Wall Street when we had Glenn coming in here a couple months ago. It's down Wall Street and a few others. What I wanna do is go through it, I'll reach out to about 5 companies that tear down these, like we got the 2 houses tore down last year. It's a similar thing, a similar proposal, and have those, I'd like to have those by the 28th. We can open them, see what we got, see what it's gonna cost. Again, I'm not asking you guys to say, let's do it. But the only way we'll find out how much it's gonna cost is actually get the quotes and have them come in. So, I just wanna put that out there, I was working on that. I mean, I just like to see an impact, trying to clean this town up a little bit. And that just aggravates me when I drive down Mill Street and I see that theater that's tore down and all that bricks and all that just laying there and the grass going all over the place. And we're trying to clean up the downtown and I go to look at that, so.
So, if I may,
Yes,
okay, so, all of those have been cited, right? Like, I have, like, they've all been cited. I have all the returns back on whether they weren't deliverable. Some outright refused to accept the letter. And then the ones, most of the ones that I thought would not accept the letter actually signed
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But, so, on the theater, a couple things, just spitballing. One, I don't know if it's possible, and the other one would be up to you. One of them I thought is going to talk to Chipper. He has that big drop off by his new property that he keeps saying that he's gonna fill in. I wonder if it would be, so the biggest cost for us cleaning that, past that, I mean, we can still, I mean, obviously we send that bill to him or whatever we're gonna do, but the biggest cost is gonna be the weight of the removal. Is gonna be the biggest cost that's in there. So one thing I thought, like, well, what if we do the cleanup on our equipment or whatever, but like we dump the, like maybe Chipper will let us fill that up and then he can throw some topsoil on there and then that will pack him and do that.
I mean, a lot of farmers take,
Yeah, I
you know, I mean,
yeah.
if you just put it up,
They
let
used
people
to.
know that they can have it.
Well, on this particular one, we'll do it a little bit different. When we put a proposal for this piece of property, we can build that in the proposal of what we require, and then we'll let the contractor give us a price of what the contractor will do, and we can arrange it with Chipper if he wants to do that.
It's gonna be a
Just say-
lot.
Well, we can't even, we're working with Alex now on a water line that's gotta get put in the ground and done and finished before we pave the street next year, so I don't know how you three feel about it. I don't wanna be using our equipment on some private
Right.
property to benefit them when they should have taken care of it themselves.
Well, we still send them the bill for it.
Well, yeah.
How do you,
How
how
do
do
you-
you, how do we, how do we acquire? a-
Number one,
I mean, because,
he can tell us, we can do this, but we can get sued too. He could say, you know what? You get on my property, one piece of your equipment, and I'll sue you.
That
And I
doesn't work.
guarantee you know what? He's gonna win.
Or if you're
What
loading,
you gotta
loading
do-
bricks on somebody else, you damage something, you know.
Exactly, but
Yeah, we should.
he could say this is treasure, but when you have a contractor, and again, he could still say, you're not gonna get on my property. We may have to stop it, but then what we do then, we got pictures, we follow the ordinance, we have an attorney, the attorney then will file a lawsuit against him and let a judge decide whether he's gonna clean it up or not. We still might not win, but I think the judge is gonna look at that and say, in order the man to clean it up, then, if you don't clean it up, he'll go to jail, I guarantee you, he'll clean it up. Or he'll allow our contractor to go in here and clean it up, and it's over.
I mean, that's no different than us tearing down a house. We're allowed to go on the property to do that. I mean, the law supports us on that.
It supports us, but I don't wanna test that law if somebody decides they're gonna say, you do it and I'll sue you.
But we've already done it though. We tore down the house on Maple, we tore down the house
No one
on.
opposes it.
Yeah, I don't think.
No one opposes
But
it.
they can't,
They can't.
trust me, they can't.
Look, only on this one though, would I think that he can do it, the others, they don't even, they're not even paying the property taxes and even paid on this stuff, so nobody isn't claiming the property, so who's gonna go in and say, they don't really have a legal name to it, they're not gonna be able to sue you to begin with. This guy owns his property, and he could sue us, that's all I'm saying, now, if it was up for tax sale, I don't think we'd have any opposition, but I'm just saying, if it's a possibility, he could threaten us, and if he does, then we just put a hold on it, we take pictures of it, and then we'll go to court, and we'll let a judge decide whether he pays it, or he's going to clean it up. And I guarantee you, if it's any judge at all, he's gonna look at those pictures and say, clean it up. I hate to go back into-
I think it would be, I mean, if we just put it out there, I think it'd be clean.
I think
The
you'll
brick,
clean it up.
the brick end of it, I mean.
I think you'll clean it up. But anyway, that's just,
I mean, I think.
that's just where I wanna be, and hopefully have those proposals ready for you guys to look at the 28th meeting. Melissa sent me an email, I think it was, or, I think it was, you did, Melissa, about the downtown fund update and
Yes.
transfers. Do you wanna elaborate any on that, or?
I can, yeah, so, back, I think it was honestly last year, you guys voted to create a separate fund, so right now, or up until then, anytime people paid rent for Taco Tequila, the Green Building, or Thompson Station, it was in the general fund, but it was in like a line item there. So then you guys made a motion to create like a full separate fund, that way you could use that money to like, if it needed repair on the roof or whatever. So I went ahead, got the fund created, started getting all the numbers, so I wanted to only just make one big transfer, so that way for state board accounts, they weren't like, why did you make 35 transfers? And I noticed that there's a couple of rents that wasn't paid for one of the tenants. So before I like did that, I'm gonna go through and get all of Liz's receipt books and just double check and make sure that we didn't miss something, or maybe she put something and I put the wrong month or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'll have a total for you of what you guys, and then if you want, just to be safe, we can even do like a transfer resolution and just do it in meeting and sign it, and that way.
I think if you did that, and then you had that documentation of all those receipts, that way it backs up the number you're requesting council to do. That way it protects you,
Okay.
and you get audited, and they ask that question, you can pull it out and say, this is what it is, and, they may ask, well, how come you transferred
Right.
$25,000? Well, here's the reason why, here's the resolution back it up. Yeah, I think that'd be great.
While we're on the topic of that project though, which Jay and Aaron are aware of this, I think, but not you two. So we found out that if you have a property, so we're tax exempt, so we don't pay property taxes on anything. But we found out that if you have property that you make money off of, you do have to pay property taxes. So we never knew that, so the county's never charged us property taxes ever for anything until this year.
Yeah.
So we got a bill for, Taco Tequila. They do not know about the other properties that we have, but they will, I'm sure, you know, it's only a matter of time. So that's gonna be something to keep in mind. So like for Taco Tequila, for example, like his lease is gonna be coming up, so that might be something we consider in that. Right now, we pay his liquor license every year, now we're paying property taxes. What was that? It was like $2,500 for a year or something.
Yeah,
And then
for a year.
his liquor license every year, you're looking at like 1,200-ish, so there's that on top of that, and we're only getting 600, right? And then all the money we spent on the AC, you know what I mean? So it might just be something we consider. And then in the future, like Thompson Station's empty right now, in the past, we only charged 300 for that. So, you know, that's something to keep in mind, is like, that's gonna be more property taxes.
Right.
Where's Thompson's station?
Corner of Washington and Mill, it's the little standard station there, remember?
So right west of the bank.
So is that amount per property or per
Well,
like?
it's property taxes, so the one we paid was just for Taco Tequila, because that
But
was
is
the
it
only
based
one
on
they
the
did.
amount of income you make, or is
No,
it based
it's-
So
on?
it's just like your
Assessment.
house, like property
Assessment.
taxes,
Any
so
property
it's
they-
based on like that
It's
property.
the little gas station where
Yeah.
Commander used to,
Yeah.
oh, do you guys know who Commander was? I'm sorry.
I don't know who Commander was, but
I think his
it's
name
right
was
across from.
Steve Cody,
Cody.
but we always called him Commander.
Right across from where the laundromat used to be there.
Okay,
And that looks like.
that's.
So you have to pay property tax on the community buildings?
So I asked that, because I said that, I was like, we make profit off that, and she said that she looked up to see what the Civic Center was listed, and the Civic Center doesn't pay property taxes, so she said she would leave that there. Cause we make money off the
Well, I
community
think
building, but,
this is a business.
Yeah.
This is a whole different thing than
Yeah.
a community building.
right.
And I think this is my thought. We need to reexamine, the redevelopment commission's got the lease with Taco Tequilas, is that needs to be brought up to them and a formula figured out.
I think it expires in January.
Oh, January.
I'm pretty sure, me and Don looked it up.
Okay.
They don't ever pay for anything.
Well, who's that?
The redevelopment commission, we always pay the bills.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm hoping that's gonna change over the next.
So I don't know what they can do to give them the bill.
Give them the bill, but, that's something I'm gonna give with the redevelopment commission, because this needs reexamined, and we need to up the lease, so we at least pay the town's not out any money on this property tax for this building.
Yeah.
I mean, it needs to be higher than just property tax, I mean, we've
And
evaluated
the
that.
liquor
now.
Well, you
license.
can throw a liquor license.
Well, yeah, but I mean, looking for repairs we do on that building in a year.
Right,
I mean, there's gotta be an equal part somewhere.
well, with the maintenance on it, I mean, like the roof and all that, where the lease agreement is, something that starts leaking, that's on us, because we own it.
Not-
You
that's
can't-
not
Right, but we're
worth
dumping a bunch of money
And all
into
the
something that
repairs.
if we're not making any money, then it's not a profitable business for the town.
I mean,
Right.
And then it's.
So then you shouldn't get taxed on it.
people's rents and all
Right.
that.
So, I mean,
Still not
we need to find a happy medium, I mean, we need to pay a property tax.
It's costing us money to have it.
And, I mean, we don't have to put a new roof on the building, but they're gonna have to, I mean, there's a lot of maintenance in an old building for us to.
And that's another reason why I wanted this downtown fund, because actually they are paying. When they pay that lease, it's going into that fund, so they actually are paying, in the long run, they actually are paying for the building.
Well, and we're gonna have to reevaluate that now, because we're
Well,
putting
that's
all
what-
that into
that's
a
what-
fund,
that's
and
what
then we're
she's
also
doing.
still paying property taxes as well now,
Well,
so.
we recalculate the property tax and the liquor license, and we up the fee to that, so that covers that. Then
I mean,
what they've been paying goes into this downtown fund, so when the roof does go bad, or with air conditioning, they've helped support that, by putting money into that fund.
Yeah.
So we're not, the general fund's not subsidizing this like they have to.
Okay, yeah,
That's why I've been adamant about setting this thing up and getting it
Well,
going.
the bank for that bill.
Right.
Yeah, $600, I mean, people, well, everybody pays more than that in rent, and they live there, I mean, they're making money.
Exactly, well, I'm glad she brought it up. And I got it on here, we'll get with this and try to get something figured
Yeah,
out.
we're gonna
the
sit
next
down
month
and
or so.
negotiate these contracts, we can call them all for it.
Now, as far as the community building, the green building that we have Mike Rogers in there, and that's up to you, but unless we get dinged with property tax, if we go to the assessor and say, oh yeah, we got the treasurer, we got these two, won't you look?
Trust me,
Well,
they're
gonna
digging.
look.
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
She
yeah,
told me
they're-
they're digging.
They're gonna find it, and which is perfectly fine, but
Yeah.
we need to reevaluate.
Everything going on is kind of, our business transparency.
Okay.
But it, I mean, it's not fair for one place that's paying rent to have to pay, go up because they got property taxes, and next door be like,
Well,
we ain't got hit with it yet, so we're not raising our rates.
It will be interesting though to see what State Board of Accounts says, because they're very like, your taxes, like, they freak out if we accidentally pay taxes
I
to
think-
Walmart.
Oh, yeah.
I think State Board of Accounts, once they examine it, it's not gonna be a problem. Whoever that was at the treasurer, the assessor's office called somebody,
Yeah.
I don't know who it was,
They're taxing church.
and they said on the phone, they shook,
what?
she shook her head, yeah, you gotta pay.
That's the next mess in the county.
No, they're,
Oh, it's all,
the churches? You
But
can't,
that's probably not for this meeting, I don't want to.
I don't wanna-
I don't want those.
No,
What I'm saying,
that's-
transparency.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't wanna be.
what's good
That's-
for the, I mean, what if they decide to hit us backwards? Be like,
Yeah.
hey, you, how long have you rented that out? Okay, we're gonna go back and fix it.
She indicated like to me that that's not.
Oh, like back pay? No,
Yeah.
she didn't say
She
anything.
No.
Well, all because you didn't say it doesn't mean you ain't gonna catch it.
It's up to them.
I mean, I'd rather get ahead of the game than
I think that's gonna be, that'd be a good argument though, you should've caught this, not us, we were, you should've, you're the one that should've been assessing it, doing it, so.
Right.
You throw it back on them.
Right, I mean,
She
we
didn't
could
seem to
argue
be very good at
Bunch
it.
of money coming in.
Who is it?
It's the assessor and the treasurer.
Yeah.
But I took that form down there and she showed me how much we owe, and I, what? What do you mean we owe this? We didn't pay it last year. She goes, well, that was last year. She was mad at
And
me.
then when you emailed me, I was like, he's crazy, like, we don't know that, and then I called and she told me the same thing. It's like, "What?"
But anyway, well,
Yeah, like I
We've never
said,
paid
it-
we can go on and on about that, but I'll give her the redevelopment commission and we'll hash this out with Mike Rogers and talk with Kiwa's and we'll get something going with that stuff. Cause we gotta cover expenses. HWC 2027 community crossing contract. I sent that to everybody. I hope that I copied Melissa on it. I thought I had. So we have that here. This is something we can just look at here.
What are we looking at?
This is for,
Oh, I'm find the report so we
It's
can,
like a
we
big
can just do all this in one
statement, so like
section.
every minus, and that's showing the balance,
Okay, alright,
if that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. Yes, sir.
unfortunately, I didn't. This,
What is it?
it's for the HWC agreement for 2027. The engineering services for the CCMG would be $37,900, not to exceed that amount, which basically would take us all the way through the grant closing if we got funded for 2027. If we don't get funded, it's not gonna run us 37. But they would come in and, basically, like they did for this year, they would advertise it for us, they would put the quantities of materials together, what each street's gonna, that we wanna have paid. They would calculate what it's gonna, what their proposed charges would be, what they think a contractor would, build the road, redo the road for. Put all that together, file it with the state electronically. They would advertise the bids, they would notify some contractors that they know to see if they would bid on it. They would set up the bid schedules for us. They would come in, when the bids came in, they would open the bids, they'd tabulate, and then go out and vet the contractors that voted, or that gave us bids. Then they would come back with a recommendation and who, I'll take that back, I don't think it's construction. What they'll do, they put the bid package together, submit it, advertise it. Bids would come in, sealed bids. Really like what's gonna happen with, our water project. We have these contractors who have a packet of bids sealed on the 20th. The HWC will be here. They'll open them up, read them aloud, and HWC will grab all the bids, take them with them, they'll vet them, and then they'll recommend who we should hire. That's what they would do with the roads. That's what they did, what was that, 3 or 4 months ago with Milestone, the others came in for the L Street project. And then in early September, whatever it was, when they did the October stuff for us, that's part of this 37.9 for 2027.
We hired Milestone one time for our.
Yeah, there were.
What does it mean by double crossing?
Four different companies, yeah.
What does it mean by,
Community
I'm sorry?
Community crossing, CCMG, community crossing matching grants. It's through NDOT.
That, we need to bid on it.
It would cost,
I think Milestone could have been good job.
Oh, yeah, that is, I mean,
Here's-
every county.
here guys, the total cost would be $50,200. Now, survey is 10 grand. Now, that we wouldn't be charged if we don't do Washington Street.
If we don't do
If we don't do Washington Street, that 10,000 comes off because they won't survey it. But if we decide to do Washington, they're gonna have to survey Washington, and that's gonna be $10,000 to survey. And they would then not put that on the road inventory for next year to be paid.
I think it'd be, I mean, if that's the only road we do, I think Washington Street's hitting, I mean, it's getting some major holes.
Gotta do Glenn.
Right, I know, but
There's still something, we still gravel it, or near gravel, at least Washington Street, you can drive down. Let's get back.
for right
Now, I'm
now,
not discouraging you. Whatever you guys wanna do, I'm just saying this is part of it.
I mean, I think in the best interest, I mean, maybe we can do a full community, but I think a community, I mean, if Mill Street's getting done, Broadway's got a pretty nice road. The next highest grand road is Washington, and it is, I mean, it's getting pretty good craters in it. I mean, and that's just my opinion, I'm not one, but, I mean, I hate the $10,000 surveying, but.
That was originally the plan. Dustin and I skipped 2 years of CCMG to try to save up all of our, like, any money coming in to try to do Washington, because we knew it was gonna be a huge project. You've got the curves, you've got the handicap, like, it's a lot. But yes, that was the plan, was to get it covered, because it
Things
was,
go wide too.
yeah,
And you guys do a lot of extra stuff.
The good thing about it is our water lines are all.
yeah.
Power on the ground easier.
and which one is?
Well, if you got it surveyed, you never have to have it surveyed again.
Yeah.
Which
Because
one's
that
what?
street's not gonna get any wider.
It's the cement one.
It's a one-time shot
runs
thing.
north and
The
south,
survey states would be there, the value would be there. You
by
would- even
that
if you
gas
didn't,
station.
Even if it got too expensive when they put it together, and you pull it off the docket
This is
next
Washington.
year, at least
I
you
think
got
it
the
might
survey done
change,
if you
but-
wanna go down that road.
Basically.
That was my
Yeah.
question.
This one here?
Well, I
I
don't
would
think this is
say
called
for the
Washington, I
time
think it's
being,
becomes
you pay that
Washington at the
NBA
stop
lot.
sign. Oh, is this
The
Washington
2203?
too? Okay,
By the
Yeah.
school.
yeah, right here.
I mean, I
But it really
We would
needs to
only
start
buy
Broadway
lots
that
of
way.
Yeah, cause this is not in, this isn't in Shelburn. This is in, no, it's not the same one.
That's what I'm saying.
It's your road.
I mean, it's getting pretty rough.
Why we doing Mill Street?
Yeah, it's bad. Like, now I know it's gonna cost a lot of money, but
I mean, if we can afford it, I mean, if we can't afford it, at least it's surveyed, I guess. I
Well,
mean, I'm,
that's what I'm saying, if you go ahead and survey
I
it,
mean,
and the survey's good, then you don't have to have a resurvey,
Yeah,
that's
it's-
there.
and if they need the roof tore out, I mean, we'd probably tear something up in it.
If you have it done, yeah.
If it'll be cheaper, I mean, if that's what they're advertising, I'm absolutely sure with a real, I can, I don't know what we're gonna do with the concrete yet.
Now, $2,300, that's included in this $50,200 would be the 2026 PAMP. What the PAMP basically is, they go in and then, once our roads are, that we do, when we do Hickory Trail and Meadowview Drive and Mill Street, when all that's completed, then it's gonna have a added value to it. They'll go into the system and add those extra values into our overall road inventory. And then they'll monitor what has deteriorated in the road inventory and update everything, because it's a living document.
Yeah.
And they have to do that, and they have to file that by December 1 in order for us to be ready for funding for 2027 to be eligible. So, that's part of that 50,200. And again, the 50,200 is not a lump sum like you gotta write a check tomorrow. This is spread out over basically a year and a half. So you're gonna get dinged a little bit here and there. They're not, they're not gonna ask for the money until they've done the service. But that's what that is, so.
Just correct you for my notes, 37, not to exceed 37.9.
On the CCMG.
And then the additional 5,200 for the parent.
The pant's 2,300,
Okay.
the survey would be 10,000. And CCMG for 2027 would be 37.9, which totals 50,200 for the total.
That's an expensive survey.
The survey 10,000? Yeah.
That's expensive.
Look how wide that road is too.
Yeah.
I think Bill Street is what, pretty.
Yeah, especially.
Mill Street was high, you're right, it was high.
I mean, I think it'd be silly not to get at least started great. I mean, our ultimate goal, or at least my ultimate goal, is to get Washington Street done. I mean, it'd be nice to have
We
some
can't
flat
do
roads
next year,
around.
we'll do something else, we'll at least run the survey for whenever we do have the money to do it.
Well, like I say,
Probably,
it's not all has to be done, you're not gonna have to pay all this at one time, so.
But we do got paid 50,200 at one time, right?
No,
When you paid it?
as the services are done.
Okay, got you.
Yeah,
They'll kind of bill us as they go.
Right.
yeah, just like this.
So we just gotta monitor to make sure they don't go too far.
Like with the HWC right now, like we got a $15,000 bill, we got a $14,000, like for the Mill Street project, like as they complete their work, then they send us an invoice for the week.
Yeah, they only bill it when they do it, they're not gonna just bill it all at once and say here, and then they do the services, they don't do that,
So
so, yeah. HWC engineering.
I'll make a motion to approve $50,200 for HWC out of the 2203 fund.
We'll leave it at that for now, but I'm hoping we can change some of that, not have to take all of it out of UPH, but I think for now, it's not a bad idea.
I like, did you see this, the proposal, what it all, I mean, what all we're looking for, right? I mean, I know you went over it, but I mean. So like,
I apologize for not getting that, guys.
I mean,
I thought I had.
I just,
Did you read it?
I feel like Milestone had their, they shoot their own,
Now, what you're looking at, Jared, that's for the future.
Yeah,
That's not this is what we've done up current is under a separate contract. This would be future roads, that'd be like in figuring what Washington Street's gonna cost us, what Glen Street's gonna cost us, and any other roads we wanna do for next year, they can figure those in, and that fee would include those roads.
yeah, but, well, that's what I'm saying is, I mean, there's only 3 companies around that could do the job, I mean,
Well,
they
that's,
make any money, I mean, they're not gonna come from Wisconsin or wherever.
that's
I mean.
why we hire them to figure out their percentages, the tonnages and all that, and then they send that as an advertisement, and then companies like Milestone then look at what is prepared, what they want done to that road, so then they know how to bid, the quantities and how to go. Just like Mill Street, for example, it's gonna be milled.
What I'm saying is like the company Milestone, they don't bid their own jobs, I mean.
oh, they do, but the HWC is sitting on a spreadsheet. Have all your.
Get what you make out in the game.
Your elevation, how much it's ground out, and then to get that, we'll do it. There's all, will be in there, now, so that the contractors, all the contractors, get back to, the other side, do the goes. There's a middleman.
Right, pretty much.
Well, that's what I'm saying, I was working on, ways to cut the middle bit out.
Well, you can cut them out.
I don't know that Milestone has every job they do engineered out. I just figure
Well-
they go in and see.
That's true, that's
I mean,
true, but in order to get 80% of the money, we gotta follow this formula the state allows, and we don't get 80% of the
So
state's
we
money.
have to have all this stuff
Mhm.
to satisfy the state.
For the grant.
For the grant.
Oh, right.
And now,
Okay, I understand that.
now the grants
I
are
understand that.
80/20.
All right. I mean, I just didn't know if there was certain things that,
see, we
Oh,
got.
no, we're not just having them survey it and then tell us who's gonna be the cheapest
Right.
for the,
Right,
blacktop. No, it's also to help with the grant. and
Okay,
everything.
all right, all right, all right, I'm sorry.
Process,
Yeah, that,
you've gotta do it.
that,
I mean, the town.
yeah, cause it didn't make much sense without
Right,
that.
right, that's
That's right. Yes, yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, if you would've said that at the beginning, I go.
Sorry about
You know,
that.
no, you're fine, I
They
just,
gotta do that.
I just didn't see that, spend that to have somebody hire the same person we're
We'll
gonna hire
get back
back.
to grant.
You have a motion on the table from Alex.
Right.
I'll second that. All in favor?
I was gonna say no, but now that we ready to the grant, I'm gonna say yes.
I got what you're saying.
You know, if you make it make sense like that, then I'm.
No, we gotta have them.
Yes, okay.
And we sign
I'm on
this?
board now, I know what's going on.
Kinda like.
Is that what was it? Or you?
I'll
Gotcha.
email it to Melissa.
The
'cause I gotta get it.
contract.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
Scott,
I'm just trying to save money here.
Yeah.
Us losing 80% of them paying for it, that's not the same situation.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Really just. Make sure we get these paid and all this.
I mean, I really don't, I mean, I think we should break down a part of this, I mean, every quarter, or whatever, and go through and see what, I mean, there's so much, I mean, we could, I mean, but we just do sections at a time, and we go through and see what money's being spent on, what we're, I mean, dig down deep and see what we're actually buying with that money, I mean,
Yes.
I mean, you know, I
totally
mean.
agree.
Yeah, because it's, and
Yeah,
people
because if
will be
it's here-
upset
if
with
it's
you
in
if
one
they find
spot,
out
it's in-
money
it's
is
in every
going
spot,
out,
and
not
we're all
coming.
guilty of it, and I mean, and I'd like to understand better, I mean, 'cause who knows, I mean,
Okay.
there's silly stuff, it's,
Oh, yeah.
there's no way.
I'm sure. This thing with, okay, yeah, so I'm gonna make sure, yeah, Melissa got a copy on this, I'm make sure she did. No, that's a labor rate stuff. Pretty well discussed all that stuff.
There's something I'd like to see what we spend on hiring contractors, I mean, when an emergency comes up and we gotta have it, I understand we. gotta have it,
I was, kinda involved with, this, mess that we had down there by, Mill Street there, whenever we had to hire that one out. And that seems to be a going trend right now, is that it's $30,000 or $40,000 for a set of boxes that we can handle. And all these things, I mean, we're in collapse zones and stuff, and if it gets too dangerous, even if they start digging, and it's too dangerous and they need boxes, or they just don't feel comfortable doing it at that point, we can't force them to be like, it's not gonna follow. And so then we hire it out, and that seems to be a common denominator whenever we get into a lot of these jobs that we're hiring out. I mean, there's been a couple where we just haven't had availability of employees on weekends.
No, yeah.
But as far as, like a lot of our hired out work is due to not having these boxes, and I honestly, just a couple that I seen on this, we could afford the boxes time and time again, and I think that would save us a lot of money. I mean, and this bill ain't even on there, and.
Right.
And I mean, a simple thing like I said, a set of boxes, I mean, I can't believe they're that expensive. Can't believe it, but, I mean, to be able to have it, for them to be able to do the job without it collapsing in on them, I mean, they were terrified of that creek, rightfully so. The guy that came and dug it, dropped the boxes. And so, I think that
The
would
size
save
the
us
hole we
a
made was-
ton of money on.
That's
on
with the
people
boxes
coming
in it, I bet there was
I mean, they
6
go look
feet
at it if it's near
on
water
each
or
side of
anything
this
like
box
that, or
before
it's saturated.
the mud got close to it. It just kept collapsing and collapsing. You just had to keep scooping it out.
It's just not plausible.
I know. This is something we gotta get a handle on, and this is gonna help out Melissa too, is get this thing, we gotta get this thing moving. I reached out to, Jennifer Hinkle on this, and on this overtime and all this stuff, and Jennifer looked at the work and all of that, Sean had brought to her on his payrolls and all that. And, this is the findings she came up with. Again, this is just to get the thing corrected, it's not to be, it's just gotta be, we just gotta get a handle. Again, it's kinda like, it's overspending and all this stuff, we just gotta get a handle on all this. So that's why I reached out to Jennifer, she's local, she's a CPA, lived here all of her life. And these are the findings that, I think I sent this though, you guys, I may not have, yeah, I copied, yeah, I did, okay, I did copy this on this, okay. Okay, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, she reviewed it, she found things that needed to be corrected, and this other that I sent was, she basically put a proposal together of what she would charge, and basically go over with Melissa to get it corrected, and work with Melissa to get it up to speed where it should be. We're looking at, it's at the very bottom of her fee structure, which I think's very generous. She got a one-time flat fee of $250, $75 an hour, and basically, she says her scope of services as well is important. But that would be for all the hourly employees, the 4 hourly employees we have, and if any's incurred overtime, she would come in and work with Melissa to get it compiled and get it the way it should be to meet the Fair Labor Standards Act thing. So I wanted to get this out. That's why I didn't want to wait till July 20th, because I wanted to get a handle on this.
Before we do that though, you guys have to make a decision on the overtime, because like right now, we're paying them time and a half on those hours not actually worked. And FLSA
Yeah.
says you cannot do that.
Yeah.
So like
That's
before.
basically those they wanted.
So before we like pay her to come, you know what I mean, like, and that's why it doesn't reflect on their time cards, because technically that's not overtime, because
No.
they're not supposed, you know what I mean, so.
And I think she's aware of that.
Okay.
She's aware of that, so that's why, again, I'd like to get her involved in this as soon as possible.
Did they ever get a ruling on that though? 'Cause I
I
know
mean, if they're on call, they actually go in
He's
and.
never sent anything to me
Clock in
on the
and
final
things like
like
that.
report or whatever, no, I haven't got anything.
Okay, I was gonna say, 'cause
Which I
I was,
assumed
surely
you
that's what
would.
we were initially waiting on, and
Right.
I might
Well, I
shoot him
mean,
a call too.
You
and
guys
see.
are in the meeting, we definitely know we can't keep paying time and a half on those hours, so you
Yeah,
said like
that'd be
rework
good.
and figure out, you know,
Right,
like.
but, I mean,
Unless
he
they
should,
clock
there
in.
should be a report by this point.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a long time ago.
I assume whoever made the complaint got a report, I would think, you know.
Yeah, basically, if you're gonna clock in and out for your hours, then those are not overtime hours.
I have a
He said
question.
he'd get us a report in like a week or two.
They're straight time hours.
What's the matter? Is an employee not happy?
Big beautiful bill.
Right, not happy,
What it is.
not happy that the overtime hours aren't being separated out with the regular pay, it's pretty much lumped together.
Okay,
Maybe calculated right, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but.
but it's
then-
all lumped together.
Well, and the other part is now, you mentioned the big beautiful bill that took effect
That's what-
in January of 2026. Overtime has to be, you can, if you separate the overtime, the premium part of that overtime pay, you can, if you show it on your, and your mandatory employers have to do it, and that's one thing we're not doing, is show it on their W-2, so they can go and take that and apply it against their taxes
Right.
as a tax exempt.
Correct.
And that's where the road we're going down now,
Okay.
they're not gonna be allowed to do that. Here it is July,
We'll
and
probably
we need-
be penalized.
well, yeah, we could be penalized and it's gonna hurt the employees.
Yeah, yeah.
So, we didn't used to do overtime, we used to do, comp
Comp
time.
time.
So like, whatever they worked over, they could bank it, they could cash out anytime, so it was
Right.
different. And then back in, I don't know, January, February, March, was that this year, last year, I don't know, at some point, we changed, and now it's
To
just,
overtime.
yeah, it's just time and a half, like, whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just, this year.
But then we got reported
But
that
now it's.
SSLA or
It's mandated.
So then this individual or individuals want you to go back
No,
to what
Well,
point?
we'll have to go back to January one.
Okay,
When the
this
law-
year,
Yeah, when the law
Okay.
took effect.
right, yeah.
And is this for all the other three too?
Yeah, it's.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, for
that would
any-
be-
Okay, I mean, I just hear Sean's name being thrown around, so,
Well,
okay,
he's the one that she reviewed his records.
okay,
Oh, I didn't even hear that name, but that's,
okay.
I just heard somebody, an employee, so, okay.
Here's what she said, she says specifically, our firm would prepare a year-to-date compilation of the following data for all affected,
Mhm.
non-exempt employees under the Fair Labor Standards Act.
Right.
Regular hours worked, overtime hours worked, overtime pay, all other data used to determine gross pay. Upon completion, the compilation information will be provided to the town.
That's nice.
So our fee structure is $250 one-time flat fee, $75 per hour. We have 4 employees.
Well,
It's not like we got an army, so
and that's for CPA,
it's not.
right.
And this is what she does every day.
And where is she at?
It's Jennifer Hinkle, Brownwood, Small Hinkle, so
Oh, well, maybe I need to go, I need to find a CPA, so.
she's done my work, done our taxes forever, right now.
I know, I don't want that for my Morgan Stanley stuff.
it's not good job, it's a small thing to make sure we're in compliance, so I'm sure to be out of compliance would be much larger.
Oh,
Not, I got a question here, I guess, I mean, it's fine that we, do this, but I guess for you, Melissa, is, once it's all the numbers are in, is there a way to add that line to put their overtime and stuff
Yes,
in there?
you can do that in Keystone, you can add in anything, like, we could have added in comp time when we had it, so you can add that. It's just, if, like I told you about a couple months ago, if we add that now, before you guys figure out the whole other thing, cause right now we are paying them time and a half for all hours, whether they work them or not. So that will be incorrect.
Yeah, we
when
ain't
they
gonna
do-
change
Right.
it.
Like, when they do their W-2s for January, those numbers will not reflect the correct
Yeah,
information.
they would do it from the right.
Right. it's
And
gonna come
and
out.
whatever decision you guys make on that, like, that needs to be, it's gotta go in the salary ordinance, it's gotta go in your new, employee handbook, like, all that's gotta be changed to reflect those changes moving forward, and
Yeah.
really kind of backdating, or whatever
Yeah,
you
we
decide,
just need to
since
know,
we
we
knew,
need to
you
figure
know.
the guidelines and set our guidelines, you know,
Yeah.
and mirror
Yeah.
that, and,
mhm,
yeah, all right, that makes sense. And
interesting.
we need to be abiding by the law, and once you
I
figure out
would
it's
say
gonna make our
Al
law the same
probably,
law. I mean,
she probably works with enough, I mean, I don't know if she works with government, but she probably works with enough small businesses that she could probably figure out a way to remove those 2 hours, but then like if you guys, like, where Joseph talked about doing like a bonus or whatever, like, she could probably figure out a way to still, that way they're still getting rewarded per se for being on call, but it's not coming out in that way, if that makes sense, you know what I mean? I'm sure she could come up with a clever way to do that. That way they're not losing that,
Yeah,
but they're just
yeah, I
getting it
mean-
in the correct way, you know?
Yeah, I bet she.
Yeah, I mean, cause it's the only, I mean, the whole only people, so let's just, let's move on this and, stop the bleeding.
Well, discussion, I'll make a motion that we hire Jennifer Hinkle to do the proposal that she's presented to the council on,
Yeah, making sure we're.
proposed compilation services for FLSA non-exempt service, non-exempt employees paid. That's the proposal.
I'll second the motion.
That's something I think should be just spread across the board, because it gets paid out of everything.
I got 5
I think
of
it should be a little bit out of water, a little bit out of
Like a
sewer, a
third,
little bit out of
a third, a third.
stormwater, general,
You're
everything.
gonna split it 4 ways, right?
I think so. I think that'd be fair.
Well, those guys, if she's just doing it, those guys don't get paid anything out of general.
Okay, you're
So
right,
it's
yeah,
just
it'd
a
be
third.
stormwater, water, and
Yeah.
Okay, so it's split in 3 ways.
yeah.
Okay, there was a motion, and a second, I'm sorry, I just wanted to. All in favor? We gotta start tracking some money. Alright.
That's a big job for you guys. I mean, that's why people elect you as a town council, because that's what you're doing for them. You're saving them from having ungodly water bills in the future,
Yeah,
and sewer bills and all those things.
make sure we're ready to fund it.
All right, Melissa, I don't know if you got, Mike Rogers.
Yep, I got them right.
Okay.
I got two of them, you got two of them?
4,500 for that Mr. Rickman's,
And 750, I got two of those.
what's the 750?
We were called to pump out a sewer main, so the town employees install a new sewer tap, also use the locator to find a manhole. Pump out main, 550, locate manhole, 200, total amount, 750.
Where was that at?
And that's whenever we done the one on South Jackson. The sewer main was plugged. We found that out when we drilled a hole in it. So we called them and had them come back it out. That way we could make sure that we weren't doing a sewer tap that, wasn't gonna go anywhere.
And then I got an invoice for 4,500 for, converting Mr. Rickman from septic to city.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Who's that?
that was
Where's
on
that?
Paradise Lane.
North Central,
Let's see, yeah, Aaron can elaborate on that.
yes, up in North Central, yeah, our little subdivision on the south side. Okay.
Why are we paying that?
Well, he said that there used to be one there years ago, and Rogers, oh yeah, he said that you want that guy on him to go in and do inside the house too, and that's state like, no, so we're not paying for that, so we'll pay for the transfer fund, we're not paying for septic, I think.
I'm confused here.
Well, I guess the EPA or somebody come in and
Where's their
where the
report?
sewer was running into the pond out back.
That's their septic problem. I don't see that this is our problem. If they wanna tap into our line, they're gonna have to pay for it.
I guess one of your.
They previously were.
Right, when we.
And
put
if they
that
let the
line in-
pump out, I mean, did we assume ownership of the pump and everything and start
Yes.
maintenance in it?
Yes.
Well,
Yes. We made them, back in the day, when we laid that line down that road, we made them look in, whether they wanted to or not, they would handle it, because we put 300 feet of that line.
Right.
And back then, before these people owned the property, everybody down that road wanted on this, wanted on that line, so they all said, yeah, we want on, so they agreed, so we put the material in and then became customers. Well, somehow, years later, they got off of it, they should have never been off of it, we should have made them stay on the sewer system, because by law, we can make them stay on it, they're within 300 feet. So, now they're a sewer customer once again, so we will get our money back,
Oh, yeah.
because now we're getting billed. I assume we're getting billed.
I just.
That's a Liz question.
We hooked them up.
So we hooked them
We're
up
going to
to,
get billed, put it
to
down.
our
I
line?
would say somebody probably ought to double check that.
Well, I'm going to.
That's expensive for a hookup on top of,
I think it said that the pump itself was $4,300.
right,
But
why, I guess why did we let it go? I mean, how
Well,
did
that's
it
a
work
good
before
question.
today?
I don't know.
How did, no, my question is like, how did it work before today? Like, so, they just, no one else decided to use that line?
No, the line's
No,
being
they're
used, there's other customers on it.
They
She
were-
verified, she can verify that. She's got a
Basically,
sister brother.
they put a grinder station in
I
because
know.
they couldn't
What
quite get the
grinders?
fall
What is that
to the
thing
line,
for?
but they were within the
He
feet
does
that
sewer work.
you have to hook to it. If that makes any sense.
So there was a
What is-
lower
what was his name?
area and they had to hook in, so they
He's got.
had to have the pump
No,
in and out.
we're making people pay for grinder stations,
He's got his own business.
but we're also paying for people's grinder stations.
Well, I'm guessing
No,
that
that
one,
was put in.
I mean, this was
About 97.
before I ever worked here, so I don't have all the details, but I'd heard about it a few times.
Or if you
I mean,
remember,
there's a couple places that need grinder stations right now that we,
That we're obligated.
that I told them no.
They have to have it.
And that was
Obligated to
done
make it
a
where they
long
can.
time.
1997.
thing out here.
Well, it'd be different if
Well,
we maintenance it and we got rid of it, but if they.
If they were required to have it, then that'd be what.
No,
I
they
think basically it was cheaper to
They tied in because I
abandon
said
it
you would
than to
tie
pay
in.
for a new pump.
So they
They're
right,
required to have
that
it,
whole
we're
system
required.
then.
Because once you become within 300 feet.
Well, they get fined, but they won't get fined.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they said you, and they gave them a date, you will have it hooked up, or we'll come back down and we'll check it.
Right.
If you did, we'll fine you.
Because they told us they would come and check our town.
So,
So,
I just looked at it as an opportune way to get them back on our system, it's never been off the system, so, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think legally, if we make them have it, then we are obligated
Well,
to make sure that that's what you get out of here.
Because they got, you gotta add monthly bill plus their usage. Anyway,
So
So all total together is $5,250
Right.
that we owe to Dry Right LLC.
Yeah,
I guess we hired him, so.
I make a motion, we pay those bills.
Second that, all in favor?
Aye.
I only got two more and then I'll shut up. I'm gonna drag this on. It's just, that's again, that's why I knew we did.
Where's that getting paid out of sewer? I guess.
That would be strictly sewer.
You appreciate
They
it.
both, yeah, they're both sewer.
They were operating the, 6201. And, how much was it?
5250. One, two invoices.
Okay, got an invoice, Melissa may have it to you, I don't know, but I was talking with, Bruce Kruger, and it's a bill for,
Midwest?
yes, $55,800, it's, 93% of the, not about half, a little over half of what the contract called for, they wanted paid for the utility master plan that we contracted with them. So it's for $55,800. We get reimbursed for 90% of that $55,800. What we got is what they call a reimbursable grant. We have to pay Midwestern, and then the state then pays us 90% of that 55.8. So we're gonna get a check from Okra, state of Indiana, for over $47,000. That should be coming if it hasn't yet.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, I haven't checked this week, but last week I
she
checked.
put the paperwork in and she said, the old grand old, the old saying, checks in the mail, so you might check, and I would put it right back in the.
Oh, like it's the actual check coming?
Well, no, you probably,
Okay,
it'd
so
be
usually
ACH,
they-
yeah, it'd be ACH, yeah. But look for that, and then I just would, receive it into the water operating. Cause that's what it should come out of, the water operating.
So that 56,800, is that what we said?
55.8.
55,800 is gonna come, we're gonna pay that out of water.
Right.
And then we're gonna get that check, and we're gonna put that in water, and then are we gonna split the remainder within the three, because that's what we did?
Well, if you wanna complicate it, you could.
I
split-
mean,
you
I
could
mean,
split it up three checks.
we're
And that-
upset with the
now
water
that
getting
you said,
destroyed,
that might not
but,
be a bad idea.
I mean,
But
our
I'm just
water's
trying to
not
keep it
all
simple.
make-
We'll build the water, but we're not gonna put any money.
But she can still put it in the water and then just.
well,
put it in.
right, then you
Well,
just borrow,
I mean, that's
All
your
right.
best,
You brought up a good point, Alex.
I mean, if we're gonna
It's a
keep attacking the water.
three-way utility study.
right.
Why don't we do this, just what you said? I was just trying to keep it simple, but no, you just want to complicate it.
No, what I'm saying here is that we just take
do
the-
a third each, all right? Melissa will pay a third, Technically, the water utility, most of this is based on the water utility, that's what I was getting at, but to keep it, you might get something out of state board of accounts down the road, how come you did it that way? Well, it was a three utility, most of the work was geared towards the water.
Well, no, hear me out. So what if we pay it out of water, that's perfectly fine with me, and then we get that check, and we put that in there, then whatever the difference is, say it's $10,000, keep it simple, or 9,000, keep it simpler, is we take 3 out of sewer, 3 out of stormwater, and put it back into the water. I mean, keep it simple now, but later, whenever we've got that $10,000 budget.
Says the guy that doesn't have to do all the.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I looked at her point, do you want to create more work for it? Why not?
Well, I just don't want
I know what she's going through, and
what-
Kenneth
what's in
did
here-
that to me.
I mean, our water's getting absolutely destroyed, then we're gonna go ahead and just let them eat another $10,000?
But you
That I
may
won't
be
be able
fine
to
if
answer for
you
because I
guys
don't
are
know
gonna work together
where that
and find out
10,000 went.
where that's happening. it
Cause that's
won't.
exactly what'll happen.
Technically, we're gonna pay this, that's the full 100%, and then we're gonna
Right.
get reimbursed for 90%.
Right.
So the 10%,
I'll figure it.
the 10%'s in this when we pay it, so we're not gonna have to fight around looking for the other 10%. It's coming right out of there. We're just gonna
So,
get reimbursed.
it's going to be deposited in water when it comes from Oakville, so I would just let it get deposited, and then we'll pay it out of water, and they will just balance it throughout. And then you don't have to worry about, you know what I mean, cause then in like 6 months, when the rest of this bill comes, and then we're like, where do we pay that out of, or, you know what I mean, like.
I mean, that's fine, our poor water's taking a hit, and then we turn around and pay everything out of water.
So
You know what I mean?
whenever whenever you get the numbers for water, it's like, Joel, how'd you spend
About 9 grand.
50 grand? I'm like, I didn't.
Now,
Because
if you wanted to, I mean, you could, like you say, down the road, but
That's,
that's just
I
really.
mean, well, that's fine, let's just tee it off with whatever you guys are comfortable with, but, I mean, yeah, I'm fine with it, if everyone else is fine with it. I just wanted to complicate it, see if it was any
I
better.
mean, we can do it that way, but I remember how past council did me, I just sat there and like, no, but they vote for it.
Well,
Just give you a copy.
I know it'll help me out whenever it comes to the monthly meeting and they're like,
Yeah.
that's 10 grand added on to what I have
We'll
spent
pay it out of water and the check.
that I
Melissa-
won't be able to give an answer for.
The funds that Melissa gets will go right into water, she'll receive that in water, whatever that, be 90%, whatever that 55, 60 is.
So, yeah,
Right, so, the,
So what, like 49?
Yeah.
Or 49,000? Alright.
So, I'll make a motion that we pay this $55,600 to Midwestern Engineers for the, Shelburn Utilities Master Plan.
Second that, all in favor?
Alright.
The only other one I had was,
you should have the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
You email that to us.
yeah, Commonwealth got their engineering, this is for basic engineering services, a lot of it went, for the environmental, well, actually, it shows here, PER, the ER, which is the environmental review that they had to put together for, the EDA grant, and then he had to actually revamp and do the PER, so that's 90% of the completion, so the bill is for 27,000. This is to prepare us for to try to get the EDA grant. Now, I talked it over with, Craig McCowan, and we both came to common agreement that this should not come out of the water utility, period. It should come out of the 1.8 million that we have in that one fund when we borrowed the money years ago, because all of this work is pertaining to that. Yeah, it's pertaining to this project, this EDA project. He agreed with me on it, so my feeling is the water utility should not pay anything out of the water utility itself. That would come out of this downtown renovation and water improvements EDA, that fund 2403.
Now you're cooking, hear that? Something's not coming out of the water.
Well, that's.
I agree,
No,
I mean,
it should not come out of the water, it was not intended to come out of the water when the money was borrowed. We did this, the first, when we got the grant the first time, we never had to use any of it because the grant went back, and now we're applying for it again. So that would, I think that should come out of Fund 2403.
We used some of it, but we got some of it back.
Yeah, it got way too expensive, but this
Well,
new grant that's coming through is much better than what that was.
Mostly we just spent on engineering.
Yeah, we had engineering like no tomorrow.
Right.
They just kept sending bills, I felt like.
Well, you're dealing with a whole different animal than what you did a few years back.
Yeah, 27,000 probably the cheapest one that's ever been sent to us from this, from a project like this.
If we get the project, it's gonna be a ton more, but, a lot of, we're gonna pay, all the engineering, the town will pay for almost all the engineering on this project, if we get the funding for it. But it won't come out of the water utility, it will come out of this 1.8 million. That way the water utility doesn't have to be pitching out any more money on this project. We get this rate increase and get our costs under control, so we can move on with projects that we need to move on. So I make a motion, we pay this Commonwealth engineers for the water utility improvements, engineering services, and for the PER and the ER, for, $27,000, and pay it out of Fund 2403.
So we need another grant?
This is a big word here.
Okay.
We just,
This is the PER, PR.
yeah.
All right, I'll second that.
All in favor?
Alright,
quick, while we're on the topic 2403, we had some invoices from HWC, I already paid them, so if you don't want them from there, we can move it, but, it was for the Mill Street project. They were hefty, I think one was 15, one was 17, one was 14. I paid from 2403 just because had I paid from water, we would have been like negative 100,000.
You're right, but you did the right
So
thing,
it's,
that's what it should have been.
Yeah.
Anything going forward on that on this Mill Street project?
Okay, from there.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Have we
That should.
paid any of it, of the water
that should
so
just
far?
about- How much did you pay, how much did they bill on the Mill Street project?
I don't remember, there's three, I wanna say like one was 15, one was 17, one was 14, or something like that, I can't remember.
Around 45,000.
I can,
Okay, so they've just about paid everything.
Yeah, I guess initially about 55 or something.
Yeah, well, I think the max was 55, so they probably invoiced
and we
us
may
for
have, as they, I don't know, those aren't like exact numbers, but yeah, like, we may already have hit the 55.
we've come close because that's the design work that we did, sending out the bids, that's what we did, so.
What the cost of it is, we had all engineering work.
You don't wanna,
No,
Well, we're really saving money by getting the grant thing.
It don't seem like it.
It's literally when we were spending.
Yeah,
money.
Yes, the big water grant right now, I think is what, a $10 million
No, no,
grant
no.
or something, but,
I just saw the figures when we did this, we submitted it 2 days ago.
You're gonna wish you were an engineer.
We spent, we were asking for the EDA, because I was on a team meeting with Chris Kruger, it's roughly 6.4 million on the EDA grant.
I mean, but,
And then we've gotta come up with a 1.5, 1.8.
a lot better than 3.5 or 4.
Now
so.
granted, part of that is coming out of this 2403.
She was trying to get that percentage taken down, too, right?
Yeah, that,
Didn't work. I'm just curious.
Maybe have more than one.
Talking numbers, you know,
they're big numbers.
yeah. But there's only 3 numbers.
That's all I got for now. For now.
can we do my stuff today?
Okay, all right.
So Alex, you have the payroll docket and the vouchers. If you need more time, I'll skip the invoices.
Can we go to invoices
Yep.
real quick? I didn't know these were out.
Alright, first invoice, I got an invoice from Jeff Akers for $500. I emailed you, Alex, cause he put that it was approved by you.
What did he say what that's for?
Says work performed on 619, removal of tornado siren.
Don't pay that.
Steel structure from roof. Can I have that in the minutes just to protect me so that he doesn't come and say, she never paid me?
I make a motion not to pay that. Fire department will cover it. I guess while we're on that subject, the insurance company got a hold of, me as the fire chief and said that they believe that that's actually our tornado alarm, and that our insurance should probably be the ones that take care of that. So, the fire department's getting that, and then I turned, that bill in, or I informed them that bill was floating for that, and so he added all that into the insurance claim, so I guess I'll know more, but at this point in time, I mean, it was an emergency situation over with the towns, I really wanted to get it down, get to the shop, figure out what we got. It's about 2 weeks out from being completed right now.
Okay, next, I got an invoice from Sullivan Automotive Group. They put White Tahoe, but I'm gonna assume that it's yours and they are colorblind, they don't know the color.
There's my truck.
330, oh, it's yours? You have a Tahoe?
No, it's not even a Tahoe, it's mine.
But it's white.
2025 Tahoe?
No, that's.
So, I was gonna say,
It's not you, right?
What's it for?
$27. Driver, it's 330, well, they charge tax, but 331.28. Driver's rear window will not roll up. Aftermarket door panel found. Windows switch.
Yeah, that should have been covered by warranty.
exactly.
That's why.
Aftermarket door panels won't, that'll blow the warranty.
I thought it would be, cause we paid that one company to do all your stuff, so does that not cover on that?
If it's aftermarket,
So
they're not gonna warranty
the work
that.
was done, so, I don't know, he said that it was just, that, it was loosened up, you had to take the panel off and something on the inside or whatever.
Repositioned to prevent further water intrusion.
Yeah, so he was saying like the way that the seal or whatever on the window was allowing water to get in, and that it was shortened, so like the window wouldn't roll up, like on the K9 side. And of course, if you remember, like we had to have, they came down, we had to change the lock thing on it, or the pop lock thing on it, it's like a bunch of different things or whatever. And then he had said something about like what you said, the water thing to move it or whatever, but I thought that would have been covered.
So, do you wanna pay, do you wanna see if?
I don't, I mean, you can double check if you want, but I really doubt that an aftermarket part of any sort is gonna be warranted.
I don't think that's what she's asking. She's asking, should the people that installed it be responsible for it? Is
Yeah,
that what you're
they
saying?
obviously, when he went and got all his like, I'm assuming you have the door popped.
That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming like somebody's gotta be responsible, it's a brand new vehicle that used to have like 10 miles
If
on
you
it.
contacted them maybe, but
I can try.
I doubt.
Well, like-
I mean, we took it somewhere
No,
else to
I
get it
know.
fixed, so I doubt they're gonna, like, you should
That's
bring
fine.
it to us.
I'll do what you want me to do, but like,
Probably full way.
it obviously had to be fixed, right?
I just need no money to pay the bill. 331.28.
I don't think that we're gonna find anybody that's gonna beat that bill. I think that, we would call them.
There was something in addition to that too, right? Like the battery thing or whatever.
Driver's wheel window will not roll up, aftermarket door panel, found window switch has water intrusion, replace driver's rear window switch, reposition to prevent further water intrusion, verified operation, verified repairs.
Okay, so the other thing they covered and we never
It
got.
sounds like they warranted what they could then.
Yeah, they warranted the other, and then that's what they did. So that's what I'm saying, cause there was like it kept, what was it doing? Like, remember all the lights went on and it told me the transmission was out of it?
Yeah.
And I was like, nobody wants me to have a nice car. And then, but it ended up being just a battery thing, is all it was, and once they changed the battery. So apparently that vehicle has 3 batteries. And then once they changed the one or whatever, or actually didn't even have to change it, he charged it all and did
How much?
whatever, and then that was covered by the warranty, but.
I make a motion to pay $331.28, for the 2025 Tahoe. Sullivan Automotive Group. Where do we wanna pay that out of?
All labor.
You're gonna probably wanna pay it out of edit because we've already, we're already way over appropriated in the vehicle side of things.
What's in my continued ed fund?
Yeah.
This is May's thing, this is June's
Okay.
meeting, what?
Shoot.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Law enforcement continued ed, 3,232.61.
I'm totally cool paying it out of that. It's equipment and I can pay equipment out of that, so I'm good with that. If like we're scraping on that other, let's just pay it out of my continued ed.
So fund 2503, no, sorry, 2508.
Yep, I'm good with that.
Did we have them all in favor, sorry?
Yes.
Alright, 2 quick ones, invoice from Red Dog Dumpster, $400 for a 20-yard dumpster, I just need approval if you're paying for that, or I think
That's
that's
for library.
Oh, yeah.
That's for library.
How much is it?
400, not wrong?
No, I thought, so when we talked to him the other day, and we talked about, doing, dumpsters for, cleanup day that's coming in, and I told him that he has to give me the same deal. I mean, I guess I didn't have that conversation with him on the library part of it, for like the thing, but I thought he said $380, I know it's only $20, but, I mean, still, like when you add multiple, there's more than one dumpster, so, I mean, you're talking 20.
Just got one
You know.
dumpster here. 120-yard dumpster.
I don't know why you build one at a time, unless he's only billing me for one, that's awesome.
That'd be easy.
I
I
think
doubt
that's
it,
just,
but
that's,
that
I
would
think
be
that's just
awesome.
for the library, I don't think that's for,
Well, that's what I know, but I had to dump it
Oh,
more
yeah,
than one,
multiple.
yeah, it was pretty,
that's all I've seen.
we had to remediate the whole thing, black mold in the whole entire thing.
Yeah, make a motion to pay, Red Dog dumpsters, $400 for a, 20-yard dumpster.
And is that coming out of,
I can take that out of, I think that's renovation, you can go, do that.
out of 2403?
Yeah.
You have any money in your community?
I can take it out. We can have that.
You have any?
Where would that be at?
I would pay you more.
I know we're gonna be touching that 2403 a couple times, but I mean, technically it's downtown renovations, I mean,
Downtown renovation.
it'd be hard to argue that one. That's what the
So
fun's there
you
for.
wanna take out of 2403?
Yeah.
I would reckon, unless someone has a better one somewhere.
Definition.
In the past, anytime it gets dumpsters, it always comes out of edit.
because we're gonna have to do the downtown, and that'll come out of edit through this cleanup that we're getting ready to do.
Yeah.
I'd say that, I would say do it out of 2403.
I get a second on that,
Second.
all in favor?
And then I guess that might answer this question, but, I've got Menards for like his tools and stuff, what did he got? I just wanna know where we wanted to pay that out of. So same thing we're doing, so anything to do with library moving forward is good to pay out of 2403.
I would, if we're gonna renovate it, and also, I don't know how, everything was going, but I know that at one point we were talking about needing a ramp on that one end for the library area. Might get that
For
put in,
handicap.
So.
or handicap accessible.
The plan was to actually put a new door in on the west side, to where they would cut, like, cause it's higher over there, to where they would just come out and then turn to like the sidewalk and all that, but, I mean, that was obviously like a big project, that was including that might actually, you might be able to include that in your CCNG if you do Washington Street, because that would all be that corner there. That
That's what I was gonna ask, are we gonna do that sidewalk and do all that when that happens?
Yeah, exactly. Not doing
Okay,
that.
and don't worry about
And
that.
then we can access through the front like we spoke about last time to cover us on ADA through the front part until we have that ability. Everyone else that doesn't need accommodation can come through the normal door once we open, and then anyone that needs accommodation, we can make sure that we can open, our office side to allow access through there, because we didn't close it off, we're leaving it the same as far as like the accessibility from.
They'll have a ramp for like a wheelchair.
Well, they just come right up on the slab, they don't need that, they can wheel right in. There's no elevation between the
Okay.
door and the surface.
So we got the electricians coming in to, whenever it gets built, they'll be.
Tomorrow, he'll be there tomorrow.
dumpsters.
We're gonna need to.
No, the electrician,
They gotta remark it.
which is a good thing because it's not good over there.
Docket and vouchers.
Oh, I like them, I got them both right here. I'll make a motion to approve the allowance docket and, voucher.
Second that, all in favor?
Alright, and I have one other quick thing, it's cardboard related. So, I don't know how you wanna move forward, what we wanna do. So, back in April, the park board decided to have a meeting. Everybody, I emailed where everybody confirmed, and then we had the meeting, but only 2 showed up. It's fine, it's fine. And then we emailed 3 additional times after that, trying to confirm a new meeting, still didn't get a meeting. I've got the dates and the emails for all those that went unread. I just need to know what to do moving forward, because I'm trying to apply for a grant that has to be due like July or August 1, and then we've got several grants and donations that were made, so we're trying to get these projects completed. My time on the park board ends at the end of this year, so like, I don't wanna leave it with like things open, you know what I mean, especially since like, I'm the one that wrote the grants to Wabash Valley, so I feel like it's my responsibility to make sure those are like all tied up nice and, you know what I mean, like, so that in the future, if we apply for other grants, like, they don't say, well, she didn't follow you, or whatever. So I'd like to get all these wrapped up, but we're having a struggle with getting 4 people out of meeting. So I need to know,
Is it 3 for a meeting?
we need to have 3, we've only had 2, the other 2 have been, we've been left on red, so I don't know.
So what would it take to complete everything until the end of your term as far as, since you started, and what paperwork lies that have to be completed to tie all the loose ends up?
So on Dawson's Pond project, we had the community club give us $5,000 to build a shelter house, so we need to get that completed. I have OPE went over and looked to see the tree situation, because we don't wanna build a brand new shelter house and then like have trees, you know what I mean, tear them. So we have that, and then the $5,000 grant we still have for that, which you guys had the pond, dredged. So the grant is for benches, picnic tables, kind of all to go around it, so that's for that project. The, playground is complete, other than the community club gave us $5,000 to put the safety barrier around all of the equipment, because we have equipment in that you're supposed to either have mulch or pea gravel, or some sort of a soft landing for kickball. That's all we have left to complete that project. Ball diamond, we just have to complete, there's a shelter house, we still got a little bit to complete, and a net that goes up. So, I mean, it's not big stuff, stuff, but it is like money that we still have sitting there that we need to spend, just so that we can cap that off and be done with that project.
So, does it have to be the park board as it's, the reason I'm asking, throwing in here is, all this is town-owned property. It's on town property. And,
Like we foresee the decision.
I mean, we don't, so let me explain back, we don't have to have a meeting to finish the project per se, because everything that has to be completed was in the grant, so it's not like we can go and be like, oh, we're gonna use the money here, because it's like, this is, you know what I mean, the money can only be used, correct. So like, that's already broke down in the spreadsheet, so we don't necessarily need to have meetings to complete the project per se, and then I can do the paperwork on my own, that's not a big deal. But, I mean, we do still have 2 events that come up, we have our Halloween event and our Christmas event, so, you know what I mean, like, there is still the fact that we need to have at least 1 meeting a year just to like touch base and, you know what I mean, like.
When was your last meeting? Has there been one this year at all?
Is there a reason that that's not happening? I mean, is the people that are on it don't
I
want to be
think
on
we're
it
just
no more?
all busy, but when
Okay.
we tried to get one together, then we only had half come and half didn't come, and then we're, like I said, we're just trying to, like, just have a meeting. I think there's no requirement, like, the old park board, the older ladies, like Doug and his wife, and then like, they used to, I don't even think they actually had, you know what I mean, they just did whatever, but, so I mean, I think you do need to have at least 1 meeting a year, just to be
Oh, you
able
do,
to,
yeah.
you know what I mean, like.
why couldn't town, as a council, with your direction, since your term's up at the end of the year, and you wanna, and I understand why you wanna get these done, like, you started them, you like to see them finished. Why can't the council be basically the body of the park board to the end of the year, under your guidance, and we just approve what needs done and account for this money, since it's already pretty much spoken for, and we can't use it for anything else, and be the vehicle to finish this out and get these projects done as a driver to push this through and
I'd say
make it a
an attorney
priority.
question, you know, like, I,
Yeah, so-
that might be an attorney question, I don't know.
Yeah,
what-
I don't know what I'm saying like that, at the same time, I mean,
I mean,
But
if
doesn't
we need approval to do something, then we can make
No, I mean,
it.
we honestly don't need, I mean,
I don't wanna
the
step on
reindeer
it.
already paid for, because if you guys remember, we paid last year, and then it got snowed out or cold out.
So there's nothing due on the reindeer. They
No,
just-
like, that's already paid
so
for,
we're not
the
allocating-
meeting is, the event is already advertised, like, that's
Okay,
just,
so we're not out any more money for this event this year, okay?
neither event.
Okay, I just look at, to get these projects done, and we're the body, and that's why I made a statement that, and I wanna clarify through you, that all these projects with the funding
Yeah.
that's still out there are on town-owned property, so the council can make the ultimate decision
yeah,
to
well,
finish
pretty
these
set
projects.
deadlines for these projects, and if they don't make a decision, we will make the decision on the day.
I feel like we should just take that right now and just do it now, and, you know, you wanna call it suspending the park board, or you wanna reexamine this at a later date, but to help Melissa to get these projects she started, to help her out to get these done.
Because of the town.
Exactly, and
Right.
we are the town council, we own the properties,
Yeah, I mean,
and it's money that we approve things.
Can I
together,
say something since I'm
approved all the time.
other part of the park board meeting?
Yeah, absolutely.
So why am I getting punishment that I'm showing up for these meetings? And I want to make a difference for this town, for the kids, and y'all giving it all to Melissa.
No,
I'm not giving it to Melissa, we just wanna close out what she started and what you guys started, and be basically done with it at the end of the year. We wanna reexamine this in 2027, maybe reexamine it, but right now, we're at a,
Well, the
got
thing
the clock
is,
ticking.
you are showing up, and thank you for one,
Exactly.
but, and, I mean, I think you can get in as involved as you want to, I think that, I mean, we're still gonna need volunteers, we're still gonna need stuff, but I think what he's saying is, as far as money and stuff like that, if that's what we're needing
No,
shuffled,
I mean, honestly, no,
or,
so,
a decision maker to say, go do it.
my biggest concern is the 2 events that we've thrown for the past 6 years. I just wanna make sure that you guys are okay, like, if the other 2 are not coming to meetings, are you okay with me and Kevin making decisions and moving forward and continuing having the events with the kids in town? If you guys are cool with that, I have no problem with them never meeting again. You know what I mean? Like,
Melissa,
I don't want the kids to miss out on something because of, does that make sense?
Melissa, I will help you.
That would happen.
well, I just,
park board, and I'm gonna say this, and it's not against anybody on the park board, it's basically the state of Indiana. I've not liked, and it hasn't changed, I've not liked the way the state says the park board has to be made up of two of this, two of that.
I agree.
I wish it was like the redevelopment commission where you could have 5 Republicans on there, 5 Democrats, whatever. Political affiliation has nothing to do with it.
It makes no sense that they do that, but then they
It
don't do
doesn't.
that for the RDC, you know what I mean? Cause the
Right.
RDC is actually making like financial and business decisions for the town.
Exactly.
But the park board is just doing like,
Right.
I mean,
Right.
they
So
sell
they're-
something.
Right.
So your park board has to be made up
Yeah,
of
it
so
can have
many
no more than
Republicans, so
2
many
of the same
Democrats?
political party.
Oh,
That's the rub, and that's the rub it's been for me when we found it.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me.
No,
No.
because it has zero to do with politics.
It doesn't, because you're doing it for
about-
kids.
It's about being what you wanna do for the community.
Right.
right.
I'm at the point, I just wanna, this is me talking, I like to just, since this has come up, I like to just put this park board thing to rest and put the authority and planning back on the town council like it used to be, and just go forward with the darn thing. And if you wanna have input from whatever, I don't see a problem with that either, but that way, they don't have to have meetings, we own the property, we have the final say anyway, and let's go forward with that, that's how I feel.
You're right, it's a shame that you're taking away your board.
Well, but you-
I mean, because there's people, I'm sure,
if the statute changed, I'd be all for it, but the statute hasn't
Well,
changed, and I just think it's a
yeah.
pain in the butt to try to get 2 of each.
I mean,
I'm
but
sorry, I just think it's
that's
okay.
not the struggle right now, it's just getting into.
It's not the
it's
struggle,
It's
but-
getting poor people to a meeting.
Well, you kind of said it a while ago, it's people that work, and not where they,
Right.
it's hard, heck, we see what we're going through with this council, and you can be whatever on this council of getting meetings.
But yeah, if I can just have, like I said, I just don't want anything, what I was concerned about is like coming into a meeting and then you guys being like, they haven't had a meeting for 6 months, so they can't have their event, you know what I mean? So if you guys can put on record, like, we are good to continue our events for this year,
We're gonna keep our events.
we're good to continue our grant process, cause I mean, the money's in the bank, so it's not like the town is out anything, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
I don't know if we could do.
There is another grant I am trying to,
What did you do?
there is another grant I'm trying to apply for, which we don't technically have to have a meeting for, normally we have the president sign it, but maybe one of you can sign it in place of that then, when I apply for the grant, if you're okay with that. So,
Yeah, so we've gotta have a board or we can get grants.
I think you can do it on the town council. Going for grants for everything else, I mean, the water project, it all.
yeah, but you're taking away the people that wanna try to do things,
I-
even if they can't get together.
If they wanna advise the council and
I
things
think
like that, I don't have a
if
problem.
you can, like, let the decision of what you're gonna do in the future, like, worry about that after the new year, if that's okay, 'cause I'm gone, like, you know what I mean, like, that's
Right.
on you guys, like, but I would like to see it continue if we can, and maybe this will get a couple emails back, and maybe we can get a meeting in, I don't know.
Or just
but
really like.
I just wanna make sure our events are good.
Citizen next
You're gonna be
meeting,
haunted
if,
house.
I think so.
Okay.
you wanna be present. and-
Hey, Ryan, back there in the corner? Hey, Ryan, in October?
What?
Hey, Ryan, in October, you still good for that?
Oh, for the hayride, is that what you said?
Yeah. So, hey, Ryan, you got that, I'll make sure the rest goes in, so.
I only heard half of it, and I heard ride, and I was like, what?
Yeah, hey, give me a ride.
That's what I thought, I was like,
Hey,
yeah,
where's the
when we
list
meeting's
of
over, give me a
city
ride.
dates?
They're on our Facebook, but I can write it down for you. We just have two, we have a Halloween and a Christmas.
Oh, still, yeah.
You got
Like, do you have like a spooky Halloween?
The Bugatti.
We had one in
Good Lord, I
Florida,
got lots of
3,000
things.
kids.
Okay, let's see, where do we begin? One thing, I think I'm having one person leave, I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm pretty sure they are. But in the ordinance, we're good. I wanna bring on another guy for the reserves. This guy already has all his training, all his stuff's good. He works for Vigo County right now. SRO in school up there at the Vigo County Schools, works the roads up there. Yeah, great. Yep.
We don't do anything.
That's Pontus.
We don't do anything.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was bothered.
Okay, you're good, I'm sorry.
Oh, works the roads, I mean, you can look at the application up there, like, I mean, his resume speaks for himself, he's been a police officer for a really long time. Only thing he'd have to do with us is literally just go through the FTO program, and that's it. Not that he would need it, but only because that's our policy.
You got it in your
So
policy.
I'm just asking for your guys' blessing on it.
I'm fine with it.
How many officers do you have?
Say again?
How many people do you have in your department?
Reserves,
Yes, sir.
we have 4. Ordinance allows for 8.
So you're halfway there.
Yeah, I don't think I need to be all the way there.
I already knew that.
Back in the day, it was that way. We had lots of guys back in the day, but we don't have the equipment to sustain that many people. Yeah, college educated, military man, been a police officer for a long time, multiple states. Attached to Vigo now, works for schools as well as the road.
I'd go ahead, in the past, we have made a motion, so I'll just do that.
I'll make a motion to hire him.
Now, that would be awesome if we were hiring.
Full time.
That would be great.
Yeah,
And I'd like to, I'd really like to. I've never paid on.
One, a long time ago, a few years ago, they voted and said that, I could have a higher position, but I had to find the money. I said, how does that work? Like, how's that supposed to happen?
You made the motion, is you related to, so take.
All right, I'll make
So motion.
I'll make the motion to bring on Ryan Lewis.
I'll second the motion. Yeah.
Good. And I'll get you a driver's license number and all
Yeah,
that.
we don't have all.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll do.
And I'll get you a driver's license number and everything.
Oh, great, yeah, I think is that all, and then he'll need a gas code.
Hey,
Or are you switching it with whoever you said's leaving?
yeah, he just needs a number,
Okay.
Alright.
right? Yeah, he just needs a number. Cause the cards stay with the car.
Yes, so
Yep.
you just need the pin, a pin.
I don't think I got one for the other, so,
For who?
Biddles. I never got one.
So we need 2 pins.
No. Just give me
No, we
one.
don't need, okay, just one.
Just give me one for Lewis.
One pin, got it. I better write what that's for, I don't remember what that means. Okay.
Yeah.
What is it?
For new locator.
New locator. Joe, can you talk about this?
Me?
Joe? Real quick, I just got handed a bill real quick, if you don't mind, I'm sorry.
No, it's her.
Well, my bad.
Go ahead, Joe.
Let's go to the top. I'm sorry, Matt.
We've never bought one for locating water lines, but yet we're required to put chaser wire in on every line that we put in the ground. That's just basically so that we can locate exactly where it's at, instead of,
Calling it located every time.
no, I mean, anytime someone else calls and locate, we gotta go out and mark our lines. But we're literally going off memory, and that's what gets us hit. So, I got to talking to Brian about it, and he sent me a quote, so I just figured I'd bring it to you guys and see what you thought.
And Jason also told me too, that using the same locator, allow all the gas to get out, he said it's right on mine, so you can take a stick, stab it, it's right on mine, so you won't.
What about the metal thing you used to do with the Y and then?
That's what we
they
do
now.
use.
Yeah.
Which is, we used to.
You just need a new coat hanger, I got some in the shop.
Right.
I got some people right there, garage.
Can we postpone this?
Yeah, I told him we'll go on this week, or next week.
And I'm sorry, Matt.
You're good,
It just got handed to me, I looked at it, I thought, wait a minute.
You're good.
He said it was there, I thought it was.
Well, just make sure you have nothing else to say.
Well, just speed it up though, cause I have to pee.
Alright, whatever that one guy was here last time. You already have it? Huh? You have it here last time.
Do you need one to talk about it, or?
Okay, so I know last time we talked about, the, library and the offices up front about us, doing the work, except for some of the things that we couldn't do, like the electricity and all that stuff. And I said, you guys already approved that that was good, but you said that you wanted a breakdown of the materials and the potential costs and all of those things. So, I did that. I'll try to go through brief. I know we've been here a long time, so, just some of the things we're looking at a total of about 2,200 square feet, that's all the way together. I have pictures here that if you wanna look, I know some of you have already been over there and looked at, a lot of it, like full of black mold, everything. So when we originally started, we thought we could, paint the panel or rip it down, and then we seen that there was drywall behind it, we got really excited and all that, and then we pulled the panel off, and it was extremely bad, like really, really, really bad. So we didn't have no choice but to completely gut everything except for that west wall or that west side, because those two side roads are in the library are good, but the rest had to be pulled, on that. So if you look through, the contract, or not contract, but the proposal, I said contract, the proposal, it goes through and kind of breaks everything down, both in its group and, from like demolition, structural, electrical, drywall, ceiling, flooring, plumbing, paint, and, the total potential cost. I know that, I talked about it before, some of the costs are gonna be less than what's on here, like, we got the bill for the first dumpster at 400, but in the proposal up here, the projected cost, we put it at 500 a dumpster. So there's already 100 that's saved, that's off of that, and it'll be a total of, I'm just giving like for instance, so you can kind of look at them. Like, so in the proposal itself, it said, projected, 4 dumpsters. We're on the 3rd dumpster, we're not gonna need the 4th dumpster, so there's 100 off of each of those, so there's 300, so there's 800 potential that's already off of the proposal that's not gonna be used, at least, like on that side of it, right? Like, so saved on there already for that potential.
I'd really have it on the high side.
Right, yeah, so if there's any contingencies or something like that, we'll be able to cover it without going outside of, like the projected cost of it. And then if you look at the community investment side, so it's a little bit more than that already, but like we just kind of showed, like some of the things that were already done, like, so we already did all the demolition and all that part of it. And then we already paid out, like the reserves already paid out, labor for that, like we paid the people to come in and help us on that, and do that, so. And then you can see the other community investments go through, whether it be through donations or whether it be through, work or in kind or whatever it might be, so you can kind of see like our side of the investment as it continues with it, like for the capital improvement side of it. And we're just simply asking, the approval of the projected cost, and the work that's done, so that we can, like continue to finish it. I know you guys had already said that you would do the remodel and all that, and then we would take a large part on that as far as like, labor and saying, there's obviously some things that we can't do, right? Like I'm not getting in there and changing the amper boxes and stuff, like I'm not, you know what I mean, like we're not doing that. Like we need to make sure it's a code and all those good things, and which is good that they're coming in, cause it's like absolutely ridiculous that it's in there, like this late, you know what I mean? Like you've seen it, like there's, yeah, we should not have knob and tooth in anything anymore, like that's a long time ago stuff.
Should they not allow the state to, have the prisoners to come up there and warn you?
So, yes and no. So you have to schedule them out, and some of them's like 4, 5, 6 months out. However, I did talk with that's funny you said that. I did talk with Community Corrections today, and they said that they will send me people, so they will help us with paint and things like that. And that really doesn't take away from like the cost of the material. That's just gonna take, and we were already going to endure that labor cost, like we had with the demolition and all that stuff. So really, to be honest with you, that just helps us on our end. You know what I mean? As far as like the financial cost on our end for labor and stuff that we're doing, it doesn't take away from the materials. And if you look on here, other than the finishing of the drywall and the electrical, the rest of it is all, material, nothing else is material that's on there, so.
So we're looking at a total price of $21,043.
Yeah, and we already know 800's coming off of that already, off of that 21. Yeah, hey, do you want this, Melissa? Sorry, I could've gave you one, I wasn't even thinking, but,
Is this for both rooms?
it is, yep, it's for both, and, so if you will notice on your invoices to piggyback off and maybe give me some brownie points on this end, if you notice when I went and got stuff from Menards already, from the thing in the beginning, I write library on the PO number. I didn't write both, I just wrote library on both because it's collectively, like if I buy insulation, it's on both. If I'm buying drywall, it's on both. If I'm buying whatever it is, so that's, I just wrote it as library on all of it, but you'll know that it goes to both of those buildings as well. The only thing that is not on here, that hopefully I can, take out of like what I save on the contingency part of it, like, are the 800, Bill's supposed to come by and look. I'm worried about the ductwork, and we had talked about this before because, not the boxes themselves, but the ductwork itself, because the flex ductwork, there was so much black mold in there that I'm worried that, like, he's supposed to come look in the ductwork and see, like if anything's in there. And of course, I couldn't tell you how much it saved by us pulling that out of there if you would've had someone come in and do a remediation of tens of thousands of dollars, you know what I mean, to do it. But I don't know what black mold looks like, so I just threw it all out. We don't have to worry about it no more. It's not in there, so no remediation problems there. It's all gone. But I just wanna look at that ductwork to see. So
Is there
he's,
any chance it went over into the community building side? Because it like grows, right?
it does, but I don't think so. No, so most of it was, so at some point in time, there was a significant amount of water damage in the community building and on the east side of the library. And, someone pulled off, whoever, and the reason I know this is because I pulled off all the trim, the one-bys, and there's no mold, no water damage or anything on the one-bys. But then you look at the paneling behind is completely rotted out and blackened by mold. And then you pull it off and all of that drywall and to grow up, the wall was all mold too. Well, someone pulled off the old case or the old trim and put on new trim and covered it and put on bigger trim and just covered it and just left it. So it was pretty disgusting. And there was tons of mice in there. We got all those out. Those are all gone. The food, yeah, it was bad. Yeah, the food, yeah, I think that was a huge part of the problem. But I think once we ripped everything out, we took all of that out, or, anything that was, like, we had to replace all the bottom base plates on there because they were all rotted out on their outside walls. To include the insulation, we'll have to change too. We don't have to insulate the west side, and we won't have to insulate the interior because it's not needed in the first place. So, it was kind of excessive that they did it in the first place, but, and then, we'll replace that, and so it's just 29 bats, so it's only like 400 something bucks or whatever it is. And then we replace all the plates on the bottom, and then I'll take, your notice on there, I don't think it's gonna take that much money, but I wanted to leave myself some room in case I, came across, but I added in there for the sill, like maybe $600-700, something like that, on the sill that was in there to reseal the outside along the edges on those outside walls where they leaked before. I'm assuming that nobody has ever done it, and that's why, or just over, like, so when you go in, like, all it was a plastic sheet in that covered about 2 feet up from the bottom, and that's what they used as a moisture barrier. And that was probably good in the 80s when it was first put up, and nowadays, like, we know we don't do that. But anyways, my point being is, like, I don't think that it's gonna cost as much as I put on there. So I put like 6, 7, whatever it was, and I could probably do it for like maybe $350. I just have to see how much it costs when I go in there to foam seal it out. But I think I can do it for cheaper than that, so, and then hopefully with those savings, I will be able to cover, the cost of, the ventilation and go through there and do that as well. So, and then with me being able to pull in community corrections, then that's gonna lessen the amount that the reserves have to pay someone to do labor, and that will allow us a little bit extra that we've anticipated to spend on the project as well ourselves, you know what I mean, to do that as well. If you look at things like the bathroom, we anticipated 1,500, or we projected 1,500. I don't know that we'll take 1,500, I just wanted to make sure that we were good. The plumbing and stuff in there is kinda a little wonky. I did ask you about coming in there and taking care of it, so that will save us a little bit of money for you doing the weld part on there, like to close those pipes up. They got pipes that run up top and go to all different places that are like pointless and are just asking for, a water situation to happen even more. So I think over the years, people added from stuff, but they never like actually fixed the problems that were going there.
Is mandated.
Yeah, but, so I mean, you're looking at $21,000 projected possibly, but we've already discussed in the short period of time, like things that we've already been able to save on as well, so that we can, do on those things. And then, of course, I had the actual two for the electricity will come, and they're already gonna become drywall here pretty soon too, with the next one, guys approve. And we'll be good, but any questions for me on that, or?
Any questions from Mike?
That's not a question.
I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, wait, you make a motion.
I think we'll go ahead and pay for this out of the.
I'd like to, throw a couple things in there.
Okay.
Pay for this.
Okay.
We have 4423 fund 4423 cumulative capital improvement. And we can use this falls right in line with what, we could use this, it's basically for improvements to town-owned property that's fixed, it's not gonna move. Well, this is not gonna move. I propose we take $4,300 out of that, in cumulative capital improvement, that still leave us roughly 4,300 in it.
You say 4,300?
Yeah, CCI basically, from,
4,423?
yeah, 4423. And then, Alex brought up a good point, I did not see that, but I'm glad you mentioned it, we saw it. Riverboat,
No gambling in the library.
Riverboat revenue sharing. What could we take, that left us with how much,
Instead of breaking down numbers, we don't actually know what it's gonna cost, right? Cause you're gonna be getting bills from like all different vendors.
yeah.
So instead of breaking it down like this, can we just,
Approve the full amount.
Well, I wanna prove the full amount, absolutely, but I just want to get in this motion how we're gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
Our funds are pulling out of to pay for it, that's what I'm
Gotcha.
asking.
just trying to think if there was an easier way, cause like, okay, so like you're saying 8,000, so what if we do this? Can we create a library fund? But can we create a library fund and like, you know what I mean?
Pull the money into it.
Right,
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not, we can't do it today, but I'm saying like, we could do that ahead, you know, I know, I'm just trying to think like, what's the easiest way?
Easiest and cleanest.
Well, I mean, I'm fine with, creating a library fund, but can we get them started now?
Yeah, yeah,
Well, you
you can, I mean,
can't.
you can, no, I'm just trying to like think,
That way we can hold money from several.
Let's make it easier this way.
cause like if we get an invoice for $15,000, like, are we gonna, you know what I mean, like, instead of having to piece it together, like, where did I see that from last time?
So
You know what I mean? Like,
to make it
trying
easy,
easier.
so I don't know nothing about your funds, I'm saying to make it easy, just so you kinda understand. So you're gonna have, unless, other than like HVAC, if we like pull them out or whatever, like all the material I can get at Menards, so that's all gonna come from there. And then the electric's gonna come from one, and the drywall finish is gonna come from the other. So right now, until we worry about HVAC, you should only have 3 like different vendors. There should only be 3 vendors that you have to worry about.
I'm not got some drywall guys might throw in some time in there, sure, but.
Cause then we also,
Gorby's is gonna be the one that does it.
Alright.
He's gonna come in and finish if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What I'd like to pull from is community capital improvement, riverboat, and some of the, I wanna pull it out 3 funds. Now, how we come about to get it to this, and
How much you pulling from each one?
Well,
To be decided.
I'd say pull, just make it an even number, 4,000 from CCI. And that's gonna leave you, what, 17,000, say 17,000. And just go 8,500, edit 8,500.
Riverboat, fund it through funds and be done with it.
So then, 4 motions ago, though, we made the decision, anything moving forward for libraries coming out of 2403, so are we not doing that then?
I wish I'd have had this ahead of time.
What, funding pool?
No, the
It's library thing.
library thing.
Yeah,
Shouldn't have worked last Wednesday.
all right, yeah, scrap the motion, I mean, we'll still, whatever.
Just leave it with
Yeah,
24.
yeah, that's why we had to retract, so we just.
Shouldn't have been out supporting your family.
Yeah, I take that back, we're gonna take it all out of what we originally did, and that makes it easier on Melissa
Is
too.
there a motion?
Yeah, when you guys did the red dog, you guys, I mean, you didn't say in the motion, but after motion, you agreed, and then you moved.
I didn't know if we needed to approve to this.
No, if everything's gonna just come out of 2403, that makes it, so as long as,
Makes it easier.
one, just make sure any vendor that, if it's somebody we haven't used, make sure that you get me a W-9 and a COI, or they can send it, whichever one. And then, just to have somewhere, let me know
It'd be
library.
Sycamore drywall, okay, so that'd be the only one, I think we used more before.
So-
Electrical guy?
Drywall.
No, I saw it, what about the electrical guy?
Merle,
I don't recognize the name, but
he,
anyways, I'll.
he's
check it
done
out.
work before,
Okay,
so these, you can't take it, they're obviously just estimates, they're not the bills.
just as long as I know
But-
they're library.
That one's, like, that's Merle and his brother, like, they've done work for the county.
Hey, Melissa?
I don't know.
Yep.
if it's under-
He's got a formal town council, thing on the back. Do you want us to sign that, or do you want us to go ahead and just put a motion to take that, all this, 21,000, or up to
You
21,000?
don't have to, that's just how I put it
I think they ought to vote on it to approve
Whatever,
this.
that's fine. Just, I guess, and then your motion is prove that the funds are coming from 2403 and or,
And then we've approved this plan, this capital improvement.
Yeah, we'll keep them out of limit.
and then if anything is out of that range, then you'll have to come back. and,
Right,
like,
well, that's what I'm saying. So I make a motion, we approve the Shelburn Community Library Community Engagement Center capital improvement proposal. That's a long word, but that's what it's on the word.
Good acronym.
I make a motion to approve that capital plan. Second it.
Go over and whatever name.
well,
We need a good acronym or something.
Hey,
We'll just call it
the
library.
acronym will
And
be
it's going to come from
Schoolhouse
people.
Scabby.
Hey, so, and just so that I understand, we are in agreement, like, so we approved the 21, so if something comes up like the HVAC and I save $800 on the other stuff, I can use that for the HVAC, right?
Right, you're capped out at 21,000.
Anything over that 21,000, I cannot spend.
Yeah, we don't have
Right.
any over.
That's why. I wanted
Right,
to
that's
get
what I'm
it.
saying, okay, that's fine, I'm just making sure that I understand. So my thought was, when I was thinking, I'm gonna do a spreadsheet and add, like, as I do it, and then do a total, and then if it was like for like, simple, like if it was $300, but I only spent 2, then I'll put 1 in contingency, like if things, so I'll know exactly, like, where I'm at, what I have, like, out of those categories, or if I have to pull from one to, you know what I mean, like,
Yeah, so
whatever.
you can-
All right, one more thing about the library. I don't know how you wanna handle or how we're gonna do it. Okay, so when we wrote up the lease said we were in agreement that you guys would pay the utilities on the library, and then I would pay or the reserves would pay the utilities, for the office area. So the HVACs intersect, the electricity intersects, the heat intersects on all 3 of them to include the community building. So how are we going to,
Percentage on square footage.
for me, essentially protecting the Reserve Association, right? So how are we gonna, be able to, like, show what our cost is versus the other costs? They all come together, and if we separate, you're talking thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars.
So it's just one bill?
No,
No, the.
so you have electricity, so we have 3 meters. We have 3 meters. You have a community building meter, you have a library meter, and you have an office, whatever you wanna call it, right? So some of the office meter supplies the library,
Oh, it makes it,
Yeah, some of the community building heats one, but cools the other. Some of the library does the office and then feeds into the, janitorial thing for the community building. All three are interconnected in both heat, electricity, and water. Which water's all one anyway, so we're not worried about that, but we're talking about heat, air, and electricity, so how do we?
so electric and gas basically, right? is what we're
Yeah,
doing,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
So electric and gas.
Electric and gas, yeah.
We have
So
to-
how do we, like, how do
Sounds like
we,
we just need to come up with a flat percentage for what the reserves pay and agree to that.
okay,
Now, how do you?
5% or a dollar amount?
I think you have to get a percentage, because your bills are gonna fluctuate.
I mean, they're offering a free library, but can we not cover that? I mean, apparently
Is
we've
there a
covered it for
way,
this long.
when your electrician comes in, is there a way for him to just put in one, like for the library and that room, just put in
Yeah,
one
the community does it
box?
too.
Is that what I'm saying?
That's what it's like, and everything, that's what I'm saying, like, you would have to
So regardless,
rewire
we're going to
everything,
have-
you would have to,
Regardless, we're going to still have additional bills, we're just trying to figure out how we break it down.
so that it's fair, so that it still covers what was agreed to be covered on the library, and so that we
Or see what the electricians. do.
essentially don't,
Apparently
I mean, like, we're gonna put on our funds too, right, like, so, like,
Let's just go ahead as is, and we'll just see down the road where we go with it. Now, Alex has got a great point, he said, you know, the community club hadn't paid anything for years, we were getting money from the library, we're not gonna get that anymore, but we're getting a brand new freaking building, basically, from the inside. I'll go with Alex, if it gets so extreme, we can maybe revisit this down the road, but I don't think it's gonna kill us, just to go forward with it. As is. They're all over the town's name anyway, the bills, and it just makes it easier for Melissa just to pay the darn things. So my feeling is this is leave it as is.
what do you mean by as is?
We're not gonna dilly-dally about whether, how much reserve association should pay for this and that on the utilities.
You guys are just gonna pay it?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Just keep it simple.
So let's put that in the minutes then, just his contract, oh, yeah, this is good.
Let's do a whole new contract then. And this one states, it's about being prepared. If we don't need it, that works. I can't run over to and make the change real quick, right? All right, let me make sure I have the right one here. All right, let's see.
Good, past my bedtime, guys.
I have a couple quick things to talk about now.
9:30.
I'm before that.
I gotta.
Okay,
Except that way it's just now.
Oh, yeah. Now, we've already agreed to do it.
I just wanna make sure that I read it so that you're saying you're good. All right, so the leaser shall be responsible for arranging and paying for all utility services that lease the premises throughout the term of this agreement, including electric, natural gas, water, sewer. The leasee need B&B, or the reserves will still pay for like internet, community, cable service, any of those things like that. All those on there, right?
Yeah, all the ones.
I make a motion to approve it.
So this new amended contract that is allowing the town is going to.
Pick up the utilities.
Okay. So, I don't think I get the library's bill.
I don't either.
No.
Do you have electric? Is it on?
Yes, it's on. It's on.
Who's paying it?
We already have it. We had to have it on, or the
I
electrician.
must not got a bill then yet, because I already noticed the
It
bill.
just got turned
Oh,
on.
okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
The electrician wouldn't do the work without it being turned on.
okay, so then, so we're already paying for the little room, so then I should be looking for a new electric bill and a new gas bill?
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
I haven't turned the gas on.
okay, so I won't get that yet, so just shoot me an email when I know, so I can just, I don't wanna miss it. And sometimes when stuff comes in, if it has your name on it, Liz will put it in your box, and then if you don't come in and check the bill, like the bill sits, you know what I mean, like it sits there and I don't know that I'm supposed to be paying that.
No, so if you guys wanna turn on the gas, that would be fantastic.
Well, I need probably, is there like a meter number you can give me?
I don't know what it is, but, I mean, I don't know if we would use gas.
I don't even, I didn't put it in my.
I made the motion.
Okay, Alex motion,
All in favor?
second, and
All right.
Gabe, all in favor.
So I have to sign anything?
I have just a couple things. Do you have anything else, sir? I'll cut you off.
Wait,
One time.
nothing.
Do you
Thank you,
have a
Deb.
second copy for me?
One is yours, one is mine.
I haven't signed up.
I think it's just Eric.
Okay, good. Alright, fire department. So the tornado alarm on top of the firehouse, melted down, broke down, it was on fire, deployed a fire extinguisher, everything to it. I guess it was, the insurance company got involved, I called them, informed them of the situation. They reviewed it, they said that it's actually, they believe that it's insured under the fire department. How or why, I don't understand, but that's the way they're rolling with it. And, so I have a $500 deductible if they decide to approve the claim. And it'll be close to $10,000 worth of work, give or take, that they're, doing to repair it. But I didn't know if the town would help out with the deductible, because I truly feel that it's the town's tornado alarm, not the fire department's problem, but if you guys don't want to, then whenever I decide to sell it one day, I'm just kidding.
AJ explained it because it was on the fire department building, so they included it, like, cause it was attached, is that what they said? 'Cause it was attached to the building, so that's why, right, it just explanation of why he gave us.
Yeah, but there's a $500 deductible, for that. I did not turn in on my insurance though, and if the town wants to, they can, but I think your deductible's a little bigger than mine. The building, has three-phase. The three-phase was glowing hot all the way down to the roof whenever I killed the breaker and deployed the fire extinguishers. I did not burn the building down, but the three-phase needs a new conduit and a new line ran. I am getting a quote for that, but I would like for the town to put the new three-phase wiring in. It'll be expensive. I don't think it'll be $5,000 expensive, but
Is that gonna be insurance claim?
it's not going on mine. It can't.
Okay.
No, that's part of the building. That's where it gets real confusing, but.
That's why
Last time I checked on the three-phase.
Right.
But is the siren on
This,
top of the
I
fire
have
building
this-
or on top of?
It's on the fire, it's on top of the true fire department, above the rescue, but it is somehow got insured. Whenever I did the policy, I insured it individually, from the way I understood, through the insurance company. How they classify that and how my insurance is wrote, they say that is technically insured under the fire department, not the town. Cause it's not a fixed structure, it sits up there, but it is an alarm and I have alarms insured. So, I don't know, we shot it back and forth for a long time, but, I mean, as far as that goes, I've got a $500 deductible. If the town wants to wait for a bill to come in or whatever for me to pay out, I can do that, no big deal. But, Matt's old cop car, we've started tearing into it. It's either gonna be a $2,000 fix, and, we hope that the rods don't shoot to the side, or it's gonna be about a $7,000 fix, and we're gonna put a new motor in it. We're trying to weigh our options, see if Ford will come in and, put the rods and stuff in or something. But, whatever way they do, the fire department's gonna get the cost of fixing it, getting it on the road, ready to go as a rescue, as a new rescue vehicle. And then the big thing is the fire department needs a remodel. For years it's needed doors, now the building's starting to separate, the outside needs tuck pointed. I do have a quote coming, it's not here yet, but that's to, go and, put actual metal bracing in to hold the building, cause the whole front of the building is separating off. So either we get it fixed or it falls off, and then we're gonna have a party.
Rods and plates on it?
Yeah, but I mean, the true, like the true front, like we can go look at it, is completely separating off the front.
Would you have that for like July 28th?
Yeah, I'll have it by the 20th.
Let's do it, let's just put that where you can present it on the 28th, because then we're gonna know the true cost of what we have to take out of this downtown from.
Right.
What we do to get the bids.
Yeah, I'll have the, but,
July 28th.
along those lines, we had, when we had the new roof put on, the reason we had the roof put on, because of all the water damage that was coming to the firehouse. We've had roofs fall out, I'm pretty sure that we've got mold in there, so I'm getting, the front walkway that's destroyed and the office remodeled. It's just drywall, keeping it simple, paint it, call it a day. And then the back bathroom, or the bathroom that's in there, is not really what we need, but I need a shower. I have to have, technically, I think by law, I'm supposed to have a shower. The fire department's never had one, the new law's coming in. So they're gonna extend the bathroom just a little bit bigger and, put a stand-in shower and stuff in and get that fixed up. But those are the major things going on in the firehouse. I think I have to have a shower, and then the office was destroyed by water, and then the front, bay doors and the front of the building need fixed.
Get us quotes if you remember, if you do it internally, so we can look at it,
I don't remember what it was, but we voted on something like last year to upgrade
levy the town employees whenever they have to leave it. But
That was a good point.
we're cutting them down right now, so.
I could go.
Well, then.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
I got a good load of project.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
so
that's all I have is,
do you need votes on any of that?
no, we can worry about the deductible if it gets cleared through my insurance. They sent it today, so.
I won't call AJ and tell him. On the voter.
Back to the park thing, to help Melissa clean these things up at the end of the year. I still say we should just, let's run it through the council going forward to the end of the year. Revisit this park with them in January. We're still on the council. And let's just get these projects cleaned up and done under our approval, but we gotta approve it anyway. And go from there. Any input that she wants to give, Kevin wants to give,
Yeah.
that's fine.
I'll volunteer.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I look at it, you know, we're the ones getting paid, making the decisions, and just do it. That's clear with you guys. I mean, that's why we get paid, because it's not gonna
So
be
you're saying you want me to bring any, like, so we'll just use the, building or the, whatever, shed as a thing. So like, do you want me to get quotes and bring that to you guys?
Yes. Yep. Yep, we just get it knocked out. So it cleans it
Got
all up.
anything you got, you bring it too, bud.
Got anything?
Nope.
Anybody else?
I know you voted on something, I wanted to bring, have you read back to you, about to figure out what it was. I don't wanna figure it out.
Police car insurance, water tank, dilapidated properties, HWC, payroll, dry ride.
Now with the payroll, did we approve for Jennifer to do
Yes.
the payroll? We did, okay, so I'm gonna reach out to her. I think I know that, thank you, that's.
Was that it?
Yeah, that was it, that's one on.
Alright.
Oh wait, you got to do it.
Make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Who second?
I do.
Thank you.
I wanna go home.
Well,
Dinner and go to bed.
you did, you completed the
I
marathon.
hope,
That was long.
Alright, it's ready, as long as I get to use the bathroom
Just to
once in a while,
confirm,
I'm good.
July 20th at 6 o'clock at Community Building, correct?
28th. 28th at 10 a.m.
28th Community
10
Building,
a.m.
10 a.m.
Yep.
28th.
All right.
Alright, well, I suppose see you guys before then.
See ya.
Hope I do.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome. Hey, kids. Bye,
Is this yours, Matt? Your
I don't know.
signed, or is this?
Apparently they don't. Oh, did they sign it?
Yeah, I think this is
Okay.
yours, because you already gave me one.
I wanted to sign
Here's
it.
your pictures back.
Did you want those pictures?
No, but I can order them. This is the little, I call it the little ladies from
Yeah,
Jackson.
This is absolutely amazing. This, oh no, I removed, I bet you I removed probably 25 mice.
Well, that was the thing with the mice.
I can't believe they serve food, so this is what I'm talking about. So not your boxes, but this right here, like will suck in through the ventilation system or whatever.
Yeah, you got all the moisture that was in
Yeah,
there.
so the boxes themselves are aluminum, so a lot of that stuff you can spray and kill them inside, you don't have to worry about. But mostly, this is old school, this is the new school, so the way that the new school did it is they would wrap your, ventilation, but they would have insulation on the inside. Well, insulation is fiberglass, so it will hold the pores that come through and blow through, so if the mold goes through, they're gonna hold all of that. Yeah, it was terrible.
I would say, yeah, when they had issues, they were just like rip off the old trim that had mold on it. Put
Well,
up the new trim, it was like, thanks.
I know that's what they did, because the trim didn't have any mold on it.
Yeah.
Or water damage,
Right.
but everything else was rotted out, so
Yeah.
there's no way. That's the only way that happened.
I